Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the preview this evening as two bitter rivals desperate to end trophy droughts face off in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup as Tottenham welcome West Ham to the best stadium in world football, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as a semi-final spot is on the line. And of course, we are joined by co-host Jack Kanicki and Sean Butler, and we'll be joined by Mr. Danny Kiriakou very shortly. But first of all, Jack, how are you, my man?
Doing well, David. I kind of miss these nostalgic mornings of, waking up earlier than I used to, on the East Coast, getting ready for this big match. Also, Dave, a big happy birthday to Philip Brady as well, the absolute godfather, our own godfather in this channel. We have two godfathers, the Antonio Conte and then Philip Brady as well. But absolutely looking forward to smashing some hammers tonight, David, popping some bubbles with the cocktail sticks, as you said before. I mean, it's just, it's Spurs Day. And also, it seems like West Ham, have a few players that are missing for this one. So it's up for the take and looking forward to it.
No, definitely is out there for the taking, that's for sure. And Shawnee, boy, how are you keeping, my man?
Superb. Thank you, David. Very much looking forward to this. Very much looking forward to tonight. If we win tonight, we are the record holder for getting into the most semi-finals of the EFL Cup. And what no better team to do that against than the scum of East London, West Ham. Come on!
Absolutely love it. Well, look, Shawnee, it is their cup final. Every time they play us, it's their cup final. So, hopefully we can turn them over. But yeah, I echo what Jack is saying as well. A big happy birthday to Mr. Brady. Hope you have a good day and hopefully we can get the win for you, my man. But look, let's see what Irish Hotspur Army are in the building to join us. We have Chris. He says, big up everyone. We missed today's show. Snowed under here at work. Xmas rush going on. Mental, no time to stop. No, look, Chris, you're not the only one. There's plenty of people finishing up work today. Plenty of people out doing the last bits of Christmas shopping, for things that the wife has added onto the Christmas list, late on. So there's plenty of people. I'm not expecting too many in the house today. It is an odd time of the year and probably a bit early to be doing the preview, but I do have the pre-match pump up, so I have to get it out there early, guys.
Anybody in the Newcastle area, though, I mean, you don't want Chris, you don't want a mental Chris, walking down, walking down the pavement. So I would just say, stay out of his way. Just stay out of his way.
Absolutely love it. Killian Kenny, big up, my man. I hope things are well. He says, big up, David Harrison. Come on, you Spurs. We have Leon M96. Koizy says, can't wait for the show to start at work and bored out my mind. Need to get pumped up, ready for tonight. My man, absolutely buzzing. We are. So don't worry, we'll get you pumped up. By the time this show is ended, you're just going to walk out of work and head home, honestly. Tottenham Tantrum Gold says, ladies and gentlemen, it's the warm-up before the pump-up in the blue corner. It's the Irish Wrecking Ball from Kildare, Ireland. David Santa, Irish Hotspur Harris. Come on, you Harris Army. Absolutely love it. And he also says, and ladies and gentlemen, in the white corner, he is the American atomic bomb coming out of Seattle, USA. He is the one and only undefeated Jack Rudolph, Stutzman Kanicki. Come on, you flat cap army. Big up, Dermot. I hope you're
Dermot, that's so hype. I love it.
Honestly, Dermot, one day I will have the mic where I just pull it in for you. I'll set that up for the next one. And I'll really go all Bruce Buffer on it, my man. You want to hear me sometimes here at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning when the main event for the UFC is on. I'll be absolutely screaming, Bruce Buffer top of, doing the Bruce Buffer. I would be. Kane the long shot. Big up, everybody. Wishing all a happy and healthy holidays. Bigger game than Liverpool today. Can't even care about the cup right now. Must beat West Ham. No, I could not agree more. Look, I echo the sentiment. Wishing you a happy and a healthy holidays, my man. And look, Liverpool game is done and dusted. It's out the way. Roll on the scammers. You know what I mean? Let's see what they can bring today.
Big up, Kane.
Afternoon, my fellow Spurs sufferers. Spurs Day has arrived. Come on, you Spurs. Tottenham till I die. Big up, Wayno. It is here. West Ham's Cup final. It's just another normal game for Tottenham, but it is West Ham Cup's final, Wayno. Alexander Hilton's in the house. He says, hi. Big up, Alexander. Kelly JTV says, a win is so vital. It's crucial, my man. It will ruin my Christmas if you don't knock them out tonight. Mark Cousins, big up, David. Let's smash the spammers. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Marky. I hope you're keeping well, my man. We also have Alex de Figueiredo. Let's go, boys. Big yourself up, my man. I hope you're keeping well. ATX 7 gaming. Big up, David, Jack, and Sean. I'm confident we will win. In Conte, we trust. Come
Good
on,
to
you
see
Spurs.
ATX. I saw ATX in that Liverpool chat the other night, ATX. So just big yourself up, my man. It seems like, we find ourselves, kind of doing the fishing in the right places. We were doing the fishing in the right places. So big yourself up, ATX.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Let's big up ATX. Honestly, I love it. I love when people get off to rival channels and give them grief. I'm always at it. Sometimes I get bored. I see a rival channel. I see a channel live, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go in there and wind a few people up.
It's even better to see, the Harris Army in there, though, Dave. There are like multiple people putting in the Harris Army in a Liverpool chat. It was just hilarious. So ATX, big yourself up, ATX. Absolute legend.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Alexander Hilton saying West Ham could be strikerless. Yeah, I saw that maybe, Antonio might be missing for this one, having to do with COVID. But, it just seems like, it's, I don't know, Dave, how to put this correctly, but, every fan, that wasn't a Spurs fan, every club that wasn't Spurs, didn't have any tolerance, any sort of patience for our situation. And now they're kind of in the same situation we were. And it seems like all of a sudden, it's relevant to them. So maybe what goes around comes around, I might say. And I don't like to put it that way when it comes to COVID, but, it seems like they didn't have any sympathy for us back then. So might as well not have any sympathy for them when you think about it.
Exactly. I just want to say to everybody, look, it'd be very easy to spot the West Ham fans turning up to the stadium tonight. Their home kit starter pack, they'll all be wearing the safari hat and the binoculars. Very, very easy to spot West Ham fans tonight. So just look out for this. About 2,000 of these guys marching down towards the stadium. That's what I will say, guys. And then I have one more thing for you. We have an absolute brilliant chant. Here as well. I'm going to bang it out. Credit to Joe Grimes who sent it in. And so this is in the tune of I Just Can't Get Enough. So it is, when I saw you, Sonny, running down the wing, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. Davies at the back and Skippy does his thing. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. The Italian man made us all fall in love, and I just can't seem to get enough of Antonio Conte. I want everybody singing that tonight. I'm absolutely hooked. Since Joe Grimes sent it into the group, I'm hooked on it. Absolutely.
The ketchup and mayo one was also a great one that, we saw as well. He banned the ketchup, he banned the mayonnaise, Antonio Conte.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Or my Harry Kane Wonderwall.
Oh, that was great.
Absolutely. I've rejigged it a little bit, Jacko, as well. So I have rejigged it a little bit.
Got to.
Hart Lane says, gutted my mate sold his ticket he was going to give me for tonight. Oh, no way, lad. No way. Well, look, it doesn't matter. Whether you're there, you're going to be there in spirit, my man. We're going to win that game. Tommy G, more importantly, please update on Bob Spur. Tommy G, he is the same, I believe, still the same, still on no actual update from the last update that we got off Brian. He is down to, I think, 45% oxygen and stuff like that, but no other update on it from there, Tommy G. And look, hopefully Bob will pull through and he will get better. As far as I'm aware, he's getting better anyway, and he's definitely winning the battle for sure, Tommy G. So look, from here at the Irish Hotspur, hopefully it keeps going that way, my man. And we have Rashad Chowdhury. Big up the Irish Hotspur. Nothing better than your pre-match pump-up. Thanks. Big up, my man. Really appreciate the kind words, lad. Really appreciate the kind words. Wayne Bonner says, playing Spurs is the nearest wet spam. We'll get to a final. Exactly, my man. Jake Chamberlain, loving the live streams. Keep it up. Big up, Jack. I really appreciate it, my man. We have Barry Ambrose. Got to spend Christmas Day with West Ham fans, in-laws. Come on, you Spurs, don't let me down. Ooh. Yeah, well, Barry, easiest Christmas presents in the world. Safari hat, binoculars. Give them a pair each, you know what I mean, and send them off to a home game. They honestly absolutely love it, Barry. And look, even if we lose, just don't take any crap off them, to be honest with you, lad.
And also, Barry, I mean, sometimes you think, there's a certain age limit that you would give bubbles to, but when it comes to West Ham fans, I mean, you can give it to a full-grown adult, a pair of bubbles as well, So, I mean, there are lots of good gift ideas. So, don't you worry, Barry. Don't you worry.
Absolutely love it. Spurs Savage, come on, you Spurs. Yes, lads, hope you're all well. Let's have it. I'm absolutely buzzing, my man. Absolutely buzzing. CF, big up, boys. Smash the hammers from Canton, Ohio. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up, CF. Philip Brady, thanks for all the birthday wishes now. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, Philip. Let's get it done, my man. Philip. Derek Hutchinson is in. He says, big up, you guys. Let's stuff the irons up the a-hole. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Derek. Claude Murphy, big up you flat caps. Very confident in victory later on. Yes, I am, my man. Yes, I am. Catman Jess says happy holidays. Big up, Catman.
Happy holidays to you, Catman.
Evil Boy 69, sing us a Christmas song. Yeah, look, you might get one out on me Christmas Eve. You never know, lad. You never know. Tune in to find out. Might even be dressed as Santa or a snowman. Who knows? Kuva 99, do Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, surely. He will be here shortly. But no, I won't sing on that song. I sing songs for the players only, or myself. Marcelo says, cannot wait to watch this one. Big up Marcelo. And he will be joining us on the watch along tonight. Big up Marcelo.
Come on.
We also have Anthony Gray with Conte, us the supporters, me anyway. But the general vibe I'm feeling with most is we now got the belief back and are optimistic now. I feel the fans feeling it too and trusting the process. Yep. Yeah, look, I trusted it from day one, to be honest with you. Trusted it from day one, Anthony. Like, just get behind it. It's all you can do as a fan, At the end of the day, no matter what's going on around the club, we still love it at the end of the day. And Antonio Montana, come on, you Spurs. And I said, Caney, you're going to be the one that saves me. And after all, Kane will outscore them all. Come on, let's get into it. I'm absolutely buzzing. Great.
I'm going to get my guitar off the wall in a minute, Dave. You go.
I'm telling you, not only that, you're going to have to plug in the amp and we'll get the noise police call on you again, Sean. I don't think you can afford that again, my man.
I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure we can swear yet, but screw them, man. Like they're worst people in the world. Horrible.
But look, before I tell everybody everything they do need to know, everybody make sure you absolutely smash that like button, obliterate that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and feel free to get your super chats in, guys. It is a great way to support myself and Jack on the jersey, or on the journey. Sorry, I definitely think some of them vocals that I provided in the first opening 10 minutes here definitely deserve something anyway. Getting everybody pumped up. But look, do not worry. I do know it's Christmas, very, very expensive time of the year, especially all you late shoppers out there. So I will get your comments up on screen at the very least. But do get in a super chat if you can. Like I said, it really does help support myself and Jack. But look, before we do get everything we need to know, Jack, what's your thoughts on today's game?
I feel like considering all the, potential absences for West Ham, David, I'm actually going into this much more confident than I probably would be nervous. And normally I would kind of go into these very, very nervous. And as well, when you kind of consider the fact, Dave, that West Ham, they really played super defensively. They played really pragmatic against us last time. They actually, in their own stadium as well, Dave, they kind of were playing like a bit cowardly, if you ask me, in their own stadium. And I don't feel like they deserved the victory or even deserved 3 points. I don't think we really deserved 3 points either in that match. But the fact that they somehow got 3 points in that, with probably even creating fewer chances than we even did in that last, league match, it makes me think that now that we have Antonio Conte in the building with all the absences for West Ham, David, I'm going into this more confident than I would be nervous.
I absolutely love the words. Fighting words from Jacko, just like Sonny had against Liverpool. Sean, my man, what's your thoughts ahead of today's game?
Yeah, I completely agree with Jack. I'm not in the slightest bit concerned. I know we lost against West Ham, and the scoreline was was disappointing before, but over the 90 minutes, it was I think we edged it. There was lots of kind of variables that happened. If there's no variables tonight, a sending off to an early yellow card to a key position, things that can change the layout of the game, notwithstanding. If it's just a straightforward game, I think we're going to add, like I said this on the chat, I've said it before on this channel, I think we're going to do them by 3 goals tonight. It's either going to be 3-0 or 4-1. West Ham haven't conceded any goals in the League Cup this season, but tonight's we're going to make up for that. We're going to absolutely smash them, and we're going to send them back. This is going to be the start of their drip feed away to obscurity. Fuck off, West Ham. You're no longer welcome in the conversation anymore. After tonight, it's done, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to see.
I love it. Big up, Shawnee. Big up, Shawnee. I love it. Sending out the firing shots.
No better hype than that. No better hype. The fact it could get even more hype from here in the pre-match pump up as well, Dave. I mean, again, just no better place to be than this channel. Seriously.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Big up, Adam, Simon's brother. Good Beats Entertainment. We owe them big time. Big yourself up, Adam. That we definitely do, my man. How are you keeping, brother? How are you keeping as well? John Stokes, evening, gents. Come on, you Spurs. We need to smash wet spam. Yes, we do. Done. Daniel Anderson, Weatherall. Let's hammer them. Come on, you Spurs. Terry Wright's in the building. Big up, gents. Come on, you Spurs. And Z Goran. Today will be a great day. We will win. I absolutely hope so, my man. I absolutely hope so. We have William McKenzie. Wow. Big up, William, my man. Honestly, this is a guy that probably got the shopping done early by the looks of it. Really appreciate the support, my man. You know, absolute big one. Really, really do appreciate it, brother. He says, Merry Christmas, David and Jack. Well, William, you know, Merry Christmas to you, my man. Merry Christmas to you, the family. And I hope you all have a good one and a Happy New Year to you as well. And let me know if you're still playing ball, my brother. Let me know if you're still playing ball, because I know you had your cup semi-final or cup final there a while ago. And I think you said you won it when I was talking to you. But Jack, anything you want to say to William?
Merry Christmas to you, William McKenzie, and all your family. Also, a Happy New Year as well to you and your family. But, you know, William McKenzie, just want to thank you not only for this huge generosity that you show here, as well as you've shown in the past, but also, you know, for welcoming me into this Harris Army, because I know William McKenzie, Dave, he's been around for a long time on this chat. He's been around for this long time on this channel. So William McKenzie, just want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart as well. And I just want to wish you as well big happy Christmas and a big happy new year as well, my man. And really appreciate you, you know, making me feel so welcome and making me feel like, you know, I'm part of the family here. So big up, William McKenzie. And also, like I said, hopefully you're staying safe. Hopefully you're staying healthy. And also, hopefully you're enjoying yourself and having a bit of time off during this holiday time period. Big up, William McKenzie.
Big up, William. Really appreciate it, my man. Really appreciate it. We have Joseph. Thank you, David and Jack, for all the content. Want to wish you both and the whole Spurs Harris Army a Merry Christmas. Let's burst the bubbles. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. First of all, Joseph, really appreciate the kind words on the content, my man. And, you know, Happy Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. Hopefully you get to kick back, relax, and really enjoy it and stay safe, my man. And, you know, fair play to you. Wishing the whole Irish Hotspur Army a Christmas, a happy Christmas, my man. So fair play to you. And definitely, look, let's burst them bubbles. I sent the missus down to the shop. She's on the way to get me 2 packs of cocktail sticks just to start bursting bubbles, my man. You know, so definitely I can't wait for this, Joseph. Jack, do you want to say that to Joseph?
Big up, Joseph. Like I said, you know, William McKenzie, but as well, another person that's made me feel very, very welcome here, Joseph has. So just want to big yourself up, Joseph, and wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for also wishing the whole Harris Army as well, you know, the whole family here as well, you know, sending the absolute positive vibes, sending the vibes through the whole chat, through the whole army as well. So just want to big yourself up, my man. And yeah, absolutely. It's bubble bursting day today. You know, there's no reason that a grown man should still be blowing bubbles at this day and age, but yet they do. And so we're just going to have to remind them that, you know, there's no blowing bubbles in our stadium. But big yourself up, Joseph.
Absolutely love it, Jack. Absolutely love it. Let's welcome a few more in and then we'll get into it. Daniel Kepper Music. We aren't the same team when we lost to West Ham earlier in the season. Conte drip feeding us right into our future success. It starts now. Of course he is, my man. We're nowhere near the same team we were when we played them last. And we couldn't even buy a shot or a shot, let alone a goal the last time we played them. Crypto Pritch Gaming, let's go Harris Army, big yourself up. Premier Hotspur TV, big upside. Hope you're keeping well. Afternoon, Mr. Harrison Jack and your panel. Let's do these scumbags tonight. And I'm not worried one bit because we have the man Conte. Not worried at all. Not worried one bit, Simon. I'm so confident. And, you know, it's great to have that feeling again like we did under Pochettino. You just go into these games expecting to roll teams over and come out with the 3 points, you know. And it's absolutely crucial to have back as a fan, Simon. So it is. Big yourself up, my man. And I hope things are going well with you. And to you, Adam, the brother, and the rest of your family, happy Christmas, my man, and happy New Year as well.
I saw him in that Liverpool chat as well, Simon, you know, as well. So, you know, big up, Simon. Big yourself up.
Plenty of Spurs fans giving them shit. Brendan Furlan, love the show. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, my man. Smash the subscribe if you haven't, man. Smash the subscribe if you haven't. Amir Sardar, big up, lads. Great show. Good with your new channel, Sean. Looking forward to all the new content. Come on, you Spurs. 4-1 tonight.
Big up, Amir. Absolute legend. Absolute legend.
Big up,
absolute legend. We have Ian Ferguson, still bitter from that 3-3 draw from last season. Have a good feeling about this afternoon. Yeah, exactly. That's another one. That's another one that's been put to the back of my mind. We definitely owe them. Amuko TV says, my family is Tottenham. Big yourself up, Amuko TV. Joseph Monaghan, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Same to you, my man. And many returns. Many returns. Sean Butler, he's saying thank you to our Amir Sardar. Eddie Ryan, 2-0 to us. I hope so, my man. Truth sets you free is in the building.
3-0.
So all Spurs family back is a pretzel today. But we're getting them. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love it. Mark Goodwin's in the house. I was born in Tottenham. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up. Simon Stevens from Nuno, the Zumba instructor, the Conte, the heavyweight champion. I can't remember a bigger turnaround in an appointment in all my 20-plus years supporting Spurs. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. And then we have Max says, F West Ham. Let's batter them. I hope so, my man. I really do hope so. But look, I am going to tell everybody everything they do need to know. So we're at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Referee is Chris Kavanagh. I think he was in the VAR room for the last couple of matches, believe it or not. I think he actually refereed one of them as well. If you want to watch the game tonight over in America, it's on ESPN Plus, and here in the UK and Ireland, it is on Sky Sports. The watch along will start here at 7:30 p.m. Myself, Jack, and Marcelo. So make sure you do tune in for that. It'll be an absolute fantastic watch along. And then, of course, if you want more of this sort of content, get over to the pre-match pump up on We Are Tottenham TV, starting at 6:15 this evening, and get your helmets on. Look, honestly, it's more dangerous than Formula One driving. The rate we run around, honestly, the speed we run around getting pumped up. A few rules for the Carabao Cup. Following the change to the rules for the Carabao Cup, each club can name 9 substitutions, of which 5 can be used. So 5 subs we can make tonight. Clubs have 3 occasions during open play to make substitutions, excluding half-time, and multiple substitutions can be made during each occasion. Each club shall also be permitted to utilise up to 2 concussion substitutions and or 2 additional substitutions from those substitutions listed on the team sheet. If the scores are level after 90 minutes, then the match will immediately be decided on penalties. There is no extra time tonight. And, of course, the reason why I didn't mention who is in the VAR room, there is actually no VAR in operation tonight, so no VAR whatsoever. Few stats for the game. Spurs are now unbeaten in their last 5 domestic outings and also their last 5 at home across all competitions. We face Premier League opposition all of the way so far, with victories over Wolves on penalties, and the Lucas Moura goal against Burnley have brought Spurs to this stage. Tottenham are currently looking to reach the semi-finals of the League Cup for the 17th time. Only Liverpool have reached the last 4 of the competition so often. So like Sean earlier, we are ready to make history. This would be the 9th League Cup tie between Tottenham and West Ham, with each side progressing from 4 of the previous 8. The most recent encounter saw Tottenham win 3-1 at the London Stadium in 2018-2019 in the 4th round. 4 of the previous 7 meetings had 3 or more goals, so could be a few goals today.
Yeah.
Conte's men has scored 2 or more goals in their last 3 games in a row, and they have lost just twice at home since May, and these 2 defeats have come against United and Chelsea. West Ham, they are not in great form right now, having won just 1 of their last 6 matches in all competitions. However, to their credit, they do have wins this season against Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City. They beat Man United at Old Trafford in the 3rd round before dethroning long-time holders Man City on penalties in October. So that's how they've reached this stage. West Ham have only reached the semi-finals of the League Cup twice in 30 years and will seek to end a 40-year barren run without lifting a major trophy. I mean, we think times are tough. I mean, God, I feel so bad for West Ham. West Ham are yet to concede a goal in this season's League Cup, believe it or not. So, we have to break their defence down. Only once before have they recorded 3 consecutive shutouts in this competition, all the way back to October and November 1989. And West Ham have won their last 2 away games against Spurs in the League Cup, doing so in 2013-14 in the quarterfinal and in the 4th round in the 2017-18 season. Players injured. Ryan Sessegnon is out with a muscular problem. After the Liverpool game, he's expected to be out for about 10 days to 2 weeks, Conte was saying. And then Christian Romero is out with his hamstring. For West Ham, we have Angelo Ogbonna. He is out with a knee injury. Ryan Fredericks is out with a groin injury. Ben Johnson is out with a hamstring injury. Aaron Cresswell is out with his back. Kufal is out. He's suspended after being sent off against Arsenal. And Kurt Zuma is out with a hamstring tendon. So there is absolutely everything everybody does need to know, guys. So there you have it. There's everything you need to know if you are a betting person. Danny, my man, how are you keeping, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys? How's everyone doing?
Absolutely buzzing for the game.
Yeah,
man.
same here, man. Same here. How you doing, Sean?
I'm good, Danny. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Nice to finally be on a stream with you, mate.
Yeah, same, mate. I think we're supposed to be doing a thing together at some point in January, and I was like, we need to actually do this.
And he's
true,
just building up
that's
the suspense. That's all it is, Sean. He's just building up the suspense, making you eager to see him. That's all it is.
I get it. And I am. It's worked very well.
Oh, you should go in with a bun like Danny. So you should.
He could probably pull it off.
Maybe. I don't know.
You two can be a packet of hot cross buns. That's what you could be. But look, guys, we will get into it. We will start throwing questions around out there. And look, we'll start with Jack, go and then work our way around. Jack, are you seeing firsthand that the more we spend time on the training ground with Conte, the more we're actually improving?
No, absolutely. And I think even a great example of that, Dave, was, we were going into that Liverpool match, thinking, God, how on earth are we going to be able to field any sort of, decent lineup? We were thinking it was going to be 3-4-3 with maybe Dele Alli, God forbid, playing on that left wing. And that didn't happen. We saw that, he switched things up. He went to that 3-5-2 and it worked out perfectly. And so it just shows that, even when he's, kind of halted by COVID, even when he's training with mannequins on the training ground, even when he has all the things riding against him, any sort of minutes, any sort of hours, any sort of days that you give Antonio Conte on the training pitch, David, this team is going to improve. Of course, we've already seen players like Ben Davies, turned into a complete opposite of himself. We've seen Eric Dyer all of a sudden, again, getting the big praise that maybe he rightfully deserves, under Antonio Conte. We've seen as well, even, Davinson Sanchez making maybe fewer, calamitous mistakes and things like that. We're just seeing huge improvement, with certain players. Not only is he improving them, I think, tactically, Dave, but he's also maybe just improving them, I think, individually. And maybe it's just, breathing a bit of confidence into them. Maybe it's just kind of telling them what they need to improve on and what they need to be looking at, in their own game. I'm not exactly sure, but clearly, Dave, any sort of extra minutes, any sort of extra hours that you give Antonio Conte on the training pitch, we seem to be improving every single day. So I'm looking forward to just seeing how he can turn this team around, especially, Dave, when he has maybe potentially a full summer as well to be able to be working on this team. I think that's why a lot of people think we're going to win the league, because if you give this guy 3-4 weeks with some of these players, I mean, who knows what he could achieve. Yeah,
exactly, Jack. And getting more time now, being out in the Europa Conference League, imagine what he's going to achieve now. Absolutely spot on, Jack. Look, we like Jack was saying, we've improved tactically and everything else. Absolutely spot on. Sean, same to you. The more we spend, it is clear the more we are improving. Is there anything else that Conte can improve into this team right now with what he's got?
Yeah, for sure. There's lots of things that can still be improved. Individually, I still have my concerns around, the name I always bandy around is Romero. I'm just haven't been convinced by him. And I think there's work to be done there. Even though I did actually think he had a better game than most people gave him credit for against Liverpool, I still think that there's work individually that can be done with him and the other coaches. I think Sanchez needs to be a little bit more aware as an individual. And but apart from that, listen, everything's great. One of the things that I do think that's really important to point out about Conte is, and I mentioned this on the thread on the chat earlier. I feel like the difference between Mourinho, Nuno, and Conte comes down to respect and the way that it's distributed back and forth between the players and the management. Right? I think that with Nuno, I don't think the players respected him. Didn't try enough for him. Didn't have maybe there's a lot of egos in the dressing room. I think that maybe a lot of them thought that we had like a B-class manager coming in to try and get the best out of what they would imagine themselves as A-class players. With Mourinho, I think he came in and I think he had the respect of the players generally. But I think what he did wrong was he was quick to praise individuals, and he did the same with Eric Dyer, right? He definitely praised Eric Dyer. I remember the Amazon documentary, him saying, Eric Dyer's a leader, he's a winner, he fights, blah, 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 right? And that's on camera for everyone to see. But then he also threw, Dele Alli under the bus for his training efforts. And then during the games, he would be quick to praise some individuals, but also take a lot of the credit himself. And then he'd be very quick to throw players under the bus as an individual. Whereas I think with Conte, similar to Mourinho, he's definitely come in, he's got the world's respect. Everyone wants to play for the guy. But from what I've seen so far, he has the very key, and it's incredibly important asset of a manager to praise individuals, but don't criticize individually. You can criticize the team, there's a phrase in the world that I came from called argue up, right? Never, if you're a manager, never criticize individuals. You can criticize processes, you can push things up the chain, but don't pick on individuals. Defend individuals up the chain, but make sure that you praise them individually. And I think Conte does that very well, and Mourinho didn't. And I think that's the difference. It's the winning of the respect game between the players and the managers. And I'd like to see how this develops, because I think it's going to be something that's going to really grab and drag the best out of. If there is a 10 out of 10 effort from certain players, then I think Conte can find it.
Do you know what, Sean? Absolutely. I kind of agree with what you're saying, right? But just maybe a bit of a follow-up question. What Jose Mourinho has done to me, he's proven to me we will not win trophies unless we do see some sort of changes in this squad, because the fact that players can just drop off so quickly, kind of shows to me that they don't have that winning mentality that it takes to win at all costs. Because if you did, you'd be at it every single day on the training pitch, in and around the training ground, and on match days. I'm like, look, yes, Conte has come in. He's got a lot out of these players. But the thing is, as a player, it's also up to you to look after your career. You have 10 years, maybe 10 very good years at the very top. You can't afford to go hiding for 3 years like players did, like some of our players did, because at the end of the day, it's the nature of life. You're always going to have different managers.
No, I know. I'm not suggesting for a second that it removes all accountability on players.
Yeah.
I just mean that, like I say, in my career, I've had a bunch of different managers. Some of them I respected, some of them I didn't. Some of the ones I respected didn't pay me any attention. And the ones that did, they got the best out of me. And I'm not suggesting that it's not on the players to figure it out for themselves. I also think that there's players that we need to replace and players need to bring in. I'm not suggesting the team is good enough. I just think that if whatever the player's potential is, on an individual level, Conte seems to have the right cocktail of skill sets to get the best out of them in a way that I don't think Mourinho did, and I don't think Nuno did. That's what I'm saying.
No, absolutely fair point. I love grilling you, Sean. That's the truth sets you free. He says, grown men acting tough and blowing bubbles. What the fuck? I know, man. It's absolutely pathetic. I never thought I'd see, 40,000 grown men singing about bubbles, to be honest with you. Never, ever did I. I mean, if you walk down to your local park and you've seen kids blowing bubbles and 40,000 grown men singing about bubbles, I mean, you'd be like, that's a bit strange. You know what I mean? The fact that's allowed at a stadium, I mean, I just don't get it, to be honest with you, the truth. It is quite strange if you think about it. Like, if you did go out to the park and seen 4 old lads singing about blowing bubbles, I mean, you'd be like, oh, are they still out from the night before, or they're just a bit, So I just don't get it. I just don't get it, true. It is a bit weird. But Danny, same to you, my man. Are we seeing the more Conte gets on the training pitch with these guys, each game we're improving a hell of a lot more?
100%. I mean, it's so visible, because I think this COVID kind of break that we had, where we had 3 games postponed, I think that probably did us a world of good on the training ground, because like no one expected for Harry Winks and Ndombele and Dele Alli to play in that midfield 3, right, against Liverpool. But they were probably the 3 fittest midfielders that we had, because I think Højbjerg had COVID. I think Skip had it as well, but he's recovered from it. So essentially, he had only them 3 to kind of work with, and then Lo Celso, who's coming back from injury, who still hasn't proven. But I think what he saw in training, probably he saw them working hard, working together, and he thought, like, I'm going to give this a go. In the first time he tried his favorite 3-5-2 formation. And God, we were all shocked the way that we performed. The way we performed was just the best football I've seen since Poch era, to be honest with you. Since that's the last time I got that excited watching Spurs.
Agreed.
And I think the more he does get on the training pitch, of course, it's gonna be able to implement his passion, his ideas, his footballing philosophy onto those players. And then look. There's still a lot of players in that squad who I know that there's talk about him saying he wanted a bit more time to decide who he wants to get rid of, and in January and all this kind of stuff. And I think that Liverpool game and probably what he's seen over the last 2 weeks in training has probably changed his opinion on certain players, maybe like the Winkses and Dele Allis. And so we have to wait and see what happens. But it's just exciting to be a Spurs fan right now, knowing that you've got someone like Conte who, do you know what? With him, right? You just listen to him. and every single time you hear him speak, it's like he's speaking your mind about how he describes the players, how he describes his passion, how he describes what's in front of him, how he describes the game. It's like he's just bang on the money every single time. It's because the guy's a fucking genius. Like, he knows what he's doing. It's like, if Daniel Levy can't see this, right, and doesn't back him just to get the players he wants, then he honestly, I don't even want to say what I would like to do to Daniel Levy, but
look, hold
he's
that
going
thought,
to.
Danny,
He's
'cause
going
I
to.
do have
This
a question. Sorry, Johnny.
He's definitely going to back him this January. Watch. Mark my
I
words.
hope so.
Mark my words. It's happening. It's happening.
Truth Sets You Free says, if I see Mike Tyson blowing bubbles, I'm saying, Mike, those are the most gorgeous bubbles I've ever seen. Honestly, Truth Sets You Free, I'll be running them, catching them, and putting them back in the bottle for them to go again, to be honest with you. So I would be true. But I'll probably be there polishing them and everything. But big up Truth Sets You Free. That's quality. That is quality. 100%. You're spot on, Truth. You're spot on, my man.
Hey,
brilliant.
Danny, just a quick question for you, if you don't mind, boys.
Go on.
So we saw that Conte said he wanted an extra month to examine, right, the players. Still hasn't played Bergwijn. Still hasn't given him any touches yet, right? Nothing at all. Does that, in your opinion,
Signify, yeah.
Yeah, does that basically say that the first man out the door, if possible, is a deal with Ajax to send him back and try and recoup the 20 bar that we spent on him?
Quite possibly. I mean, if I'm honest, I would expect to see him tonight. I think this is the time he's got to give him a chance, if he wants to give him a chance, that is.
Are we talking about the player that people wanted to drop for, or people wanted to play instead of Harry Kane?
Or even Dave, the guy that we bought to be the third goal scorer that people think is better suited as a right wing back. People think he's better suited as a right wing back, and we bought him to be the third goal scorer. I mean, they're saying, oh, his end product isn't there, but he's a good crosser of the ball. It's kind of like, well, we didn't buy him to be a good crosser of the ball. We bought him to be the third goal scorer, and we bought him to, to help Harry Kane and Sonny out.
We bought him to do everything.
To wait on him to become a right wing back. I mean, if Conte doesn't see him as a right wing back, then he's not a right wing back. I mean, he's just useless.
I don't know.
Apologies to George.
I don't think he's
George,
a right
absolute
wing
legend
back
in the chat. He'll prove us wrong, George. He'll prove us wrong.
No,
look, I don't think he'll be a right wing back, but I think with Bergwijn, I think his time's probably up at Spurs. If I'm honest, the way that Conte plays, like, he would rather get rid of Bergwijn and get in another striker. Maybe one after another striker. He'll probably get like another kind of winger who's versatile, who can play across that line and up front. And then he'll probably go for more midfielders, because I think he wants ball playing midfielders who can just run tirelessly, and that's what he wants. Someone who's going to open up a defense like one pass. So when you've got Harry Kane and Son, you only need a little bit more creativity to unlock them even more. So and someone a bit more sort of who's going to give a bit more steel in that midfield. So that's how I think he's going to set up, because we all know he's going to set up the 3-5-2. That's the way he wants to go, and he'll go like a 3-4-3 or another kind of formation depending on the opponent. But what he wants to go with, like the majority of the time, is a 3-5-2. So,
Danny, you're crushing so many Spurs fans' dreams, my man. They all wanted Bergwijn to be in the team ahead of Harry Kane. You're crushing everyone's dreams, my man.
Do you know what,
David?
Honestly, you know how we feel about you.
About Bergwijn coming in ahead of Kane. I'm sorry, but can't take it. I have to give it back now. I sat there for months taking it. I'm just going to sit there now and give it back wherever I can. Absolutely talking bollocks wanting Bergwijn. I mean, honestly,
mad.
No, I'm sick of it. It's not the relay at the Olympics where you run around past the baton. We're talking about a goal scorer here. You know what I mean? Or let's bring Bergwijn in because of his pace. Honestly, if you want pace, go and buy a motor car. You know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. COVID-99, we need to get something out of these current players. In January, Conte will say to Levy, we need an Italian, and Levy will give him £2 for a cornetto. Cannolis. They're nice, Kuva. Give him money for cannolis, my man. Absolutely love it. Big up, Kuva. But look, Sean would probably disagree. Sean would say there'd be £4 there. You can get 2 cornettos. You can get a box of cornettos, Kuva. You can get 3 cornettos for your £4. Big up, Kuva. And Gaguma says, let's win and level up today. Exactly. I could not agree more. Let's get after them. Let's smash them. Let's have them all crying onto their turkey. They can't afford cranberry sauce or applesauce down there, so they need tears to make their turkey moist.
Dave,
let's make them cry tonight.
We've got to put them spammers back in the can, mate. That's what we've got to do.
We do. Got to send them packing. This has got to be the start of their demise, man. They've just been too cocky for a little bit too long now. It's okay. It's okay for a little bit. Like, you know what? Enjoy your moment. But now it's just getting a little bit grinding, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting a bit annoying.
I just want to see us fucking demolish them tonight.
Demolish them.
Just demolish them. Just that big dick energy, mate. Big dick fucking energy.
We just need to give them a straight kick straight up the bollocks, to be honest with you. That'd sort them out. But look, keep moving. We'll go back to you, Jacko, on this one. Tottenham are coming off the back of a stunning 2-2 draw with Liverpool and what was the best performance of the season. Can we back it up and right some wrongs, or do you think we could be a small bit tired after the shift we put in versus Liverpool?
It's difficult to say. It probably has to do maybe potentially with either how, fit Conte has his players. That could be one little element of it. Maybe, these players are fit enough to be able to play, a match, so soon after that, fantastic victory. Or as well, though, Dave, or excuse me, felt like a victory or that fantastic sort of, maybe he has good, sort of, squad, kind of changing, Dave. Maybe he can, do maybe decent squad management. Maybe a Skippy comes in there who's kind of fully fit. Maybe a Lucas comes in here. Maybe for someone like a Sonny or a Harry Kane potentially. He just has to do a bit of squad management, and hopefully maybe the players that he chooses instead of, some of the players that he used against Liverpool are fully ready, fully fit, and fully energized in order to get the result today. So I think it's just a bit of squad management, Dave, and it's probably just hopefully maybe Conte's, fitness regime is coming into, coming into the hold here, Dave. But, he's done, double training sessions, before, he's made, players like Tanguy and Ndombele, constantly working. He's been slapping the ketchup packets out of players' hands as well. I'd like to think, Dave, that he's just getting these players a lot more fit. And then as well, maybe he's doing a bit of squad management, thinking, okay, maybe this player is ready. Maybe this player can offer me something. And maybe this player, needs a bit of a rest. I think he has it under control.
No, he definitely does. He definitely does. Just say to everybody out there, over 240 in the house, only 81 likes. That means there must be at least 180 people watching in their office or during work. Just smash that subscribe button. Absolutely smash it. Come on. You're absolutely spot on, though, there, Jack. Absolutely spot on. And look, there's not more anyone else can really say on that answer. I think Jack has covered it, so we will move on to the next question, and we'll go to Shawnee Butler on this. Antonio Conte says defender Eric Dyer can become one of the best in the world. These are his quotes in his position. Do you think Dyer can become world class, and do we have less problems at the back than we first thought? I swear to God, I'm not even making them up. They're quotes.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Was that Conte?
Conte
said I can be one of the best in the
you gotta
world.
be listening.
Jeez, yeah. I thought he said Conte, but I was like, what? Conte said that?
Yeah, so I mean that's what I was basing the initial question on, whether or not like the way that he respects players and tries to get the best out of them, and obviously he sees something similar to in Eric Dyer as what Mourinho said at the start, right? So I mean, do we have less problems at the back than we originally thought? It's too early to tell. I definitely don't feel comfortable with the defense that we've got. We obviously don't know as much about what happens in the training ground, and all we see is the time on the pitch. Obviously, there's something that the players don't, or the management doesn't like about Joe Rodon, right? So if there's no faith in that kid, let the guy go. But we definitely need to replace him. It's good news that we've got Romero coming back soon. I think Eric Dyer's played really well this season. I think he's been flawed. I think Davies as well has played really well. But I'd still think that, if you're judging over the entire period of what we've, as Spurs fans, have seen from Ben Davies and Eric Dyer, it's great to see them. Great to see them pulling up their game a little bit. But I still think that we, third on the priority list of a position would be a better centre back, whether it's defence for Ben Davies or to replace Sanchez or to replace Rodon, whatever. I think the number one priority is a central midfielder that's comfortable on the ball, like all the technique of Ndombele, but better stamina and better energy, better kind of desire. But and then I think we need a striker, and then I definitely think we need a centre back and a right wing back. I'm still not sold on Emerson. So do I think we've got less problems at the moment? It seems like we're papering over cracks, and I think it's great to see us get through to the January transfer window with a bit of form from these players. But if we get comfortable with these players, and we don't get something, someone in that's a bit more, I guess, proven quality over a longer period of time, then I think that we might have problems second half of the season.
Ooh, interesting. Danny, can Eric Dyer become one of the best in the world?
Like I mean, that is it's a bold statement to say Eric Moonboots Dyer to be the best centre back in the
Well, look,
world, one of the best in the world.
Pochettino did describe Winks, put him in the same brat as Xavi.
He did, Iniesta, wasn't it? He called him mini Iniesta,
And
wasn't
also
it?
the ping passes, you know, he's playing yesterday or against Liverpool, the passes he was playing it behind, you know, he wasn't knocking them into the River Thames anymore. He was knocking them, you know, in behind, you know, perfectly weighted.
It was like someone said it in the comments just before. They said he had Toby's boots on, and it literally was like that. He literally had Toby's boots on. Some of the balls and it wasn't just the forward passes; it was the diagonals across the pitch when he was switching it. Every ball was perfect, but then again, it wasn't just him. It was everyone's passing was precise and incisive, and it was fast. It was penetrative. It was fucking brilliant to watch. It was just such good football from everyone. And I mean, look, he Dyer. I mean, I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be gobsmacked if Dyer ever became one of the best centre backs in the world. But look, if there's anyone who's gonna fucking do it, it's gonna be Conte, because the guy, he's a wizard, man. He's a wizard, right? He puts a spell on players like Harry Winks, and he's like, you're the next Iniesta, and then he goes and plays like fucking Iniesta. It's like Eric, like Dele Alli. It's like, this is the best we've seen him play in 3 years. Dyer has been our best centre back, and who would have said that in the last couple of years? He's been awful. Maybe it is an age thing. Maybe it's his finally starting to mature in that role. Maybe he's finally understood about positioning in that role, because I think that was his biggest downside was his positioning, and sometimes he'd make some stupid decisions. And I think this season we've seen him make a lot more mature decisions, and his positional awareness has been so much better. He's making a lot less rash mistakes. So he's made, I think he has made mistakes, but he haven't really said he's made a big mistake this season.
Not really too many that's cost us.
Yeah,
this season.
The only one was that weird own goal against Newcastle that he scored. But that was a bit of a freak, right? But other than that, he hasn't really done that much. And
still a great finish.
And I think he's been brilliant. And do you know what, right? Yeah, moon boot power. Do you know what? He could. I wouldn't say one of the best in the world. I would say he could become a very good Premier League defender, a centre back, right? But it all depends on how much he can keep growing and maturing as a player. I mean, and how long Conte can stay. Because if Conte is there and the way he's motivating these players and teaching them and coaching them, right, then by all means he could become a lot better than what he is now. Especially when he has someone like Romero next to him eventually, or another really top centre back. If they got like Romero, someone else, and Dyer in that back three, they could be brilliant together. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But
I think the formations really, maybe that's another thing that's changed, right? Like going to the three at the back takes the pressure off a little bit.
Definitely.
And
definitely.
So
Spot on. Kaguma says Moon Boots power. Yeah, exactly. You know, and now I can use Moon Boots as a good thing. So I can use Moon Boots as a good thing. Look, I'll give my little spiel on Eric Dyer after, but Jack, I want to find out off you as well, my man. Do you agree with Kaguma Moon Boots power, and can he become one of the best in the world?
I think, it was really touched on, well, by Danny and Sean, potentially him being in that three in the back, could maybe be what suited him, best. And I think, to a degree, we've described this before, Dave, on, one of the greater, tactics, sort of shows where we discuss, that libero role in the middle of the back three. We discussed that libero role, and what you need in that libero role is what David Luiz did at Chelsea. What David Luiz, had one of his best ever seasons in his career under Antonio Conte in the middle of that back three, where, David Luiz was pinging balls left and right, being able to dictate the tempo. Even plenty have said that Eric Dyer is almost like a creative sort of deep lying midfielder in that sort of role. And that's exactly what a libero is, in the back three. So to a degree, it kind of suits Dyer's strengths when he's given more time to be able to, put on Toby's boots, like Danny said before, and, be able to kind of switch up the play, be able to find players in behind. And sometimes when he picks up the ball, David, you and I have kind of grown to how much time he in fact has on the ball, where he can, sit there with the ball for minutes and, look for a pass. And that kind of suits Eric Dyer, to a degree. He's never rushed. He doesn't have to make rash decisions. He can try to pick out passes. We all know he used to be a midfielder anyway, so he does have that in his locker. It's potentially the best sort of, marriage you can find, Dave, where Antonio Conte is probably bringing the best out of his defending, kind of skills, which have been lacking in years past. But he's also, finding, oh, this guy could potentially be, to a degree, the next Toby could be, you know, somebody that could actually suit the sort of back three formation very well. And then you have like, you know, someone that can cover up for him, you know, in the athletic sense, because we all know Eric Dyer still at the end of the day is a bit of a human fridge. And so you probably have to have someone like a Davinson Sanchez or a Christian Romero kind of back him up, you know, in case, you know, somebody plays a ball over the top and he's kind of ball watching. So it's just kind of the best sort of scenario for him being in that back three. And I think, you know, as much as we made kind of moon boots jokes and him knocking it into the River Thames, Dave, we all knew that he had that, you know, in his locker, the ability to be able to hit, you know, a pass very deep and behind the defense. We all knew he had the ability to even hit free kicks as well. So I don't know, Dave, maybe it's just, you know, a match made in heaven with Antonio Conte in this system for Eric Dyer.
Yeah, and look, for me, do you know what? I've criticised him heavily, and rightly so, in my opinion. I mean, some of the stuff I've seen this guy do over the last few years hasn't been great. But at the end of the day, I hold my hands up. You got to give credit where credit is due. And since he's come in, especially under Conte, he's gone to a new level. He didn't put a foot wrong against Liverpool the other day, which I was so surprised about because it's not his sort of game. You know, there's a lot of pace in Liverpool's front line. It's very easy to run beyond them and for him to lose his man with the pace, but he didn't. And he had an absolute brilliant game. And look, for me, I think he's been an absolute colossal. Every manager that has come in has seemed to fancy him. I mean, Pochettino played him where he could when he wasn't injured. You have Mourinho came in straight away, brought him into the fold, same as Nuno, you know. And in the documentary, you know, Mourinho was saying that he fights for the team, and that's why he is in the team because he does fight. You know, he's not afraid to stand up to opposition players, really get in amongst them and wind them up. Plus, he loves a goal against Arsenal as well, so that's a huge plus. But look, he's improved dramatically. His passing is getting 10 times better as well. But that has come down to fitness. That has come down to what Conte wants him to do. Because I've seen him over the last few years where he's just been too slow on the ball. Way too slow. Whereas under Conte, we're not seeing Dyer do things at walking pace like we were seeing under Nuno, where he's taking his time doing 2, 3, 4 touches at walking pace and a sloppy pass. He's quick. He's zoned in that, which is exactly what we want from our centre-backs. You can't afford to have them switching off the way they were doing. And whatever Conte has done, he definitely has them concentrating now. Maybe it is the band catch-up mayonnaise, but a big, big plus to Eric Dyer.
And he does well with responsibility, Dave. When you give him responsibility, when you give him kind of like, you know, that sort of, he, to a degree, he's almost kind of like a captain in the team as well. So I think when he's given responsibility, he's kind of, you know, trusted by a manager. It's all the things, you know, in that big blockhead of his, you know, that actually, you know, help him out, actually, Dave, to be honest.
Do you know what,
Jack? He's given confidence. He's given responsibility. It's what Eric Dyer wants as well.
Do you know what, Jack? I think what every manager's seen in him, right, is his leadership qualities. He's got a lot of leadership qualities. Like he shouts on the pitch. He tells people what to do. You know, Dyer is actually one of the most intelligent players in the squad. I think after Ben Davis, they say Ben Davis is the most intelligent. After him, they say it's Dyer. And the thing is, you can see he is an intelligent guy, right? He is, but obviously, I know that sometimes last season he was deluded because of some of the shit that he was saying in the fucking press conferences after games. It was just mind blowing. Like, you're like, what are you doing, mate? You're an actual idiot. But the thing is, I think Simon said it in the comments just not long ago, actually, and he was just saying basically that Dyer was once good. He was highly rated by a lot of people, and he didn't often put a foot wrong for us when he did come on and cover for Toby and Jan. But coaching post Pot has let him down, I feel. And I think that's a good point. I think because the managers who've come in, like a Mourinho and a Nuno, they're not proper coaches in terms of coaching players what to do, and like they're not like a coach on the level of, say, a Poch or a Conte, or do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, Danny, but we are talking about a 27-year-old man too.
No, we are, of course. I do agree with that to an extent, right?
I mean, because this is my point. Look, I get it. A lot of these guys are improving now, brilliant. But you cannot excuse the way they performed the last few years 100%. On management. You cannot 100%. Do it. At the end of the day, we're talking about a bunch of fully grown adults who have played the game since 3-4 years of age. I'm not letting them get away with excuses on the past managers. They didn't perform, and that's it at the end of the day. I mean, Dyer was rolled out there chance after chance after chance. You know, he was absolutely crap. But what I will say, how Dyer has improved this year is his positional sense. Last year, he was dropping off on top of Lloris an awful lot of the time, which meant teams were just pulling it back across the 6-yard box.
And their communication was off as well.
Yeah. But they were getting tap-ins. But like the thing is, this year he's not doing that. Hugo Lloris is now commanding his area, he's 6-yard box, stuff like that, which means Dyer is not dropping in the top of him, which means Dyer is where he's supposed to be. And now he's clearing things. And that's his biggest plus this season. Can Dyer become more class? Fuck it. Why not? He's a Spurs player. Why can't he? Why can't he?
Before you move on, right? Before you move on, can I just add,
circle.
right? Can I just add? I want to ask you guys, right? Do you think, right, Eric Dyer's improvement also plays one of the reasons why he's improved is the fact that Lloris has improved because of the new goalkeeping coach.
Oh,
right?
a whole lot of them have improved. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think because of the way that he's been taught or coached to like do certain things, that we this season, Lloris has been like the old Lloris, like the sweeper keeper, like he's coming out all the time.
Yeah.
He's the money, commanding his area, and I think the confidence in his own ability this season, in terms of his commanding his own area, I think that's given Dyer a bit more stability, knowing that they can communicate better and they know what each other's roles are. And I think that's the key, is that they know what their roles are. Each player knows what they're supposed to do.
No,
I think that's what's helped everyone.
I agree with you, Danny. I've been saying, I've actually been saying this for the last while. We've been doing it on the Tricky Answers meetings as well. That with this goalkeeper coach coming in, he's completely changed Hugo Lloris's game in terms of the way he's commanding the area, which means the defense aren't dropping back as quick as they were, which means you're not dropping Højbjerg and Skip back into the box. As you can see under Conte, they're commanding around the edge of the boxes, which where they should be, which means there's no one picking up the loose ball on the edge of the box, which means we can get out, which means our defenders aren't under as much pressure also. So it's all a complete knock-on effect. And look, hopefully with this new goalkeeping coach, it's breeded new optimism, new energy into Hugo Lloris, and he signs that contract. But look, we will keep moving because I do have a lot more questions to get to before we get over to the pre-match pump-up. Kuva, who knew we'd be talking 20 minutes about Eric Dyer being world-class? Quality. Kuva99 says, a 5-0 Spurs win, nothing less. Send West Ham home with absolutely nothing to cheer for. Xmas.
Yes, Kuva. Come on.
Neil, while typing this. Come on, you Spurs. Come on. What would you say to Kuva, Shawnee?
Oh, mate, this is it. This is the sort of energy we need. Send them back to Upton Park or wherever they are in Wembley Stadium and turn them off back to insignificance. They're done. They're not relevant to us. We're going to absolutely teach them some lessons. Spank them. Spank them all the way home. 5-0 is not enough. 6-0 Kuva, correct.
I love it.
If you see Sean walking around with a spatula, he's ready to spank some West Ham fans.
Spatula and gimp suit tonight.
Jack, anything you want to say to Kuva?
No, big up Kuva. Absolutely. I'd love that. This is the bare minimum, the 5-0. I'd love that to the bare minimum we're going for. I want to see an absolute spanking as well. I would love to, I think we're kind of due, giving someone, a bit spanking, and it might as well just be the wet spammers, Kuva, as well as, now that we're kind of in such flying form, it's a bit sad that, and, their kind of cup final, West Ham's, cup final this season, that they would get a spanking, but, back to the old days, what they deserve. Big up.
If we're 3-0 up at half time, I don't want to see us taking a foot. I remember how many years ago was it? Season before last, when we were 3-0 up and we ended up losing 3-0, and after 80 minutes, 3-0 up. Nothing like that's going to happen. I want to see us get to 3, get to half time, and then double down, go again, smash them. Can't take the foot off at all. No chance.
I think they will under Conte. He won't let it happen. He won't let it happen.
I hope so. Truth Sets You Free says, blowing bubbles, the story of poor man's United. Man, honestly, I bet you they wake up delighted when they open their stockings and there's just like full of bubbles. That's all it is, just packs of bubbles that they can blow around the place, for Christmas. Big up, Truth Sets You Free. Kane the Long Shot says, if Conte can turn Davies into Maldini, anything is possible with Dyer. Absolutely spot on, Kane the Long Shot. I mean, the resurgence of Davies. Sanchez still a bit jittery, in my opinion. He still feels in. But Davies, look, he's playing well. Dyer playing well. Sessegnon. I mean, the reason why he is out is because, he's under rest because he won't release Mo Salah. That's the real reason why he's actually out. But, honestly, the way Conte is turning some of these
he can't
players,
get him out of his pocket.
He's
trying
trapped
to
him
put him
there.
out by the afro, so they are. Absolutely love it.
Big up, Kane.
But big up, Kane, the long shot.
Absolute
Big
legend.
up, my man. And Kuva99, sad for Davies that Dyer will take his Ballon d'Or. It's seeming like that, Kuva. The 2 boys up for the Ballon d'Or. Imagine that. That would be absolutely quality. But you know what, Kuva? We need that competition in the team. You need Davies pushing Dyer, Dyer pushing Davies. They
Right.
should both want to be the very best, and that's how you end up
Yeah.
gathering a title-winning team, and that's how everyone ends up pushing for trophies, because
Spot
they're
on.
each pushing each other to be the best Cuva. So big yourself up, my man.
Just
Really
quickly,
appreciate
Dave,
the support.
Brian Daigle, it was on me, Dave, because of your hosting abilities have been top-notch, Dave, so I should have backed you up, because Brian Daigle, he put in one of those milestone chats, and we can't pull them up on StreamYard. I asked him, what it was, and he said he forgot what it was, so might as well he just put it in as the do Danny Kiriakou, do. So that's what he wants it to be instead. I forget, so it's on me, Brian Daigle, and it's also on, I should have backed up David, because he's doing an absolute amazing job hosting this, for today. But, Brian Daigle put in a milestone chat of being a member. So big up Brian Daigle, really big up all the support that you give this channel. And also big up for also informing everybody on how Bob Spur is doing and all the, the great work you're doing there as well. And also Tottenham on tour, just an all around class human being. So just sorry about missing your milestone chat, Brian Daigle, but big yourself up, my man.
Big up, Daigle. Big up, Daigle. And Jack, I must be doing a fantastic job. Over 300 in house right now. Everyone smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button if you are new to the channel as well. And guys, feel free to get your super chats in. It really does help support the channel. Great talking points as well. Do not worry, though. It is Christmas, and I will keep getting your comments up on screen. But look, we'll keep moving. And lads, we'll get your answers on the questions. I have a lot to get through here. So, some of you might only get to answer it. Some of you might have to answer a different question, but see how we go, because I do have to be on We Are Tottenham TV in an hour and 15. But look, we'll go back to Jacko on this. Jack, West Ham are dangerous from set pieces this season. In fact, the Hammers have scored a record 32 goals from set piece situations since David Moyes returned to East London in late December 29. And this stat went up as far as the 18th of November this year. And I do believe they've got a couple more since then. 12 of which were assisted by Cresswell, who, of course, is out injured today. But, Jack, do you see Antonio Conte focusing on set-piece routines defensively and attacking like he did versus Brentford?
I mean, he has to. And I think this is just a bit of, the one thing that I am afraid about with West Ham, because this has been their bread and butter. I think part of their success, I mean, we can't get this wrong. They don't score too many goals from open play. They score a lot of their goals from set pieces. That was also the case last year. And when you do think about it, they do have a lot of menaces like in the air. You think of Souček, he's absolutely crazy in the air. Even that one guy who's a horrible defender, but actually is a nuisance when it comes to set pieces. I think Dawson as well. He's actually he's an animal as well in the air. I think he's actually available for this one because he played in the last one. Kurt Zuma, who isn't available, but also was an absolute menace in the air. Soufal isn't bad in the air either. We all know out. Declan Rice, he's out. But this is what I'm trying to say is, when you think the years past. Yeah, sorry guys. What I'm trying to say they have a lot of players that they would use in the air. In fact, so many. And Antonio would probably be fifth or sixth on the team, and he's also potentially out as well. But you just have to realize that a lot of their success, a lot of their goals have come from set pieces, and that's because they just have absolute terrorizers in the air when it comes to these sort of moments. And that's why every team has suffered to them, because they're very, very good at set pieces, and they're very good at delivering them into the box as well. But Dave, I think with all these absences, potentially it won't be as strong as it used to be. But to say that they won't continue to play that sort of way, I think would be kind of crazy. I think David Moyes, he's made a lot of his success with this team off of set pieces. He's, kind of been his bread and butter, as I've said before, for them. So it's just something Antonio Conte has to realize, that this is one of the major ways that they try to score, and maybe set up kind of like Brentford, Dave, where you have to know that, this is the way that they're going to try to take advantage of, the team when they find themselves in a free kick situation outside the box or a corner. You have to stay switched on. It's not just going to be any sort of old corner, any sort of kind of regular routine. You have to really prepare them for it. And I hopefully he has, even without the absences in mind. I really hope he has, because I'm not kidding. This is basically one of the main ways that they've scored this season, and for good reason, because they have absolute menaces in the air. So hopefully Antonio Conte has prepared for them.
Jack, can I ask you a question about the set pieces, right? From at the London Stadium, their pitch goes obviously extended out, right? Because it's technically an Olympic stadium. At Tottenham,
that's why they wear the binoculars.
But at Tottenham, where you've got the corner flags, the pitch slopes down like 9-10 inches, right? Which I've always thought is madness. Why don't they build up just the little area around the corner so that Sonny can take a free kick from a standing level start rather than having to walk uphill before he kicks the ball in.
Yeah.
Because that's not the same I don't know how many of those 32 goals were scored from corners, but let's assume a handful are.
Oh, the majority of them.
Are they? Okay, so is the fact that our corner kick taking area is a slope, is that going to throw them off a little bit, do you think?
I think it should. And even just when you think about it, their best set piece deliverer is Aaron Cresswell, and he's also out for this one. And so might not even be their best striker of the ball taking the corner. So it might be someone like Ben Rama or a Lanzini or maybe a Masuaku or someone that could be taking them. But that's their second or third choice, kind of corner kick taker or, free kick, specialist. So you probably like to think that, with that slope that you're just talking about, that isn't the same as West Ham's, and as well as them not even having their best, free kick taker could really, really hurt them significantly. Maybe they'll be hitting more balls, to the front man at the front post and be able to just clear them away. And, hopefully just going to be optimistic, Sean. I'd like to think that they might be a bit rattled by that sort of slope and that arc.
I agree. Yeah.
What I will say, Jacko, is we do have to be careful with them at the near post. I've seen them do it against City and a couple of the other teams, where they do try and get the ball in as close as they can to the near post on top of the keeper. And they usually have like a Soucek or someone like that just kind of jumping ahead of the keeper to try and put them off. So, I mean, with what Sean is saying, hopefully they just can't get the delivery in, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but great question, Sean. Great follow-up question, my man. Yeah. Honestly, brilliant. But Sean, we'll go to you. I mean, what should we be doing from set pieces? Do you think we do what we've done against Brentford, especially attacking-wise, where we kind of play the short set piece, make them reset their defense, and defensively, how can we deal with West Ham's threat?
Do you know what, mate? In the efforts of trying to save time, I actually don't have too much more to add. I think Jack absolutely nailed it. I think that we're going to be good. I think that they've got all their best players out. I think there's enough reasons to think that we can be settled in, and as such, I don't think West Ham are going to be a threat from set pieces like they would be normally. So 8-0 Tottenham now as a consequence of that being the reality.
Oh, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And look, Danny, we'll come to you. We have a couple of super chats to get to, so we'll come to you before we get to them. But Danny, my man, the set pieces, anything you want to add, or is Jack covering it?
Yeah, Jack's brilliant. I mean, we love Wacko Jacko, so I mean, he knows his fucking shit. So, Jamal. No, I thought Jack's gonna be singing tonight after we whooped out West Ham. You'll see him do the moonwalk across the screen tonight.
But maybe Danny, will they be able to be the same? I guess maybe final words on it. Will they be the same, considering basically what, like I said before, maybe 4 of their best, guys from these set pieces are all missing. So could they really be able to do it like they, could before?
I think it's gonna. I think it's I don't think so. I think it's gonna affect them. I mean, look, they're still gonna probably put good balls into the box if they do get corners and stuff. But I think it definitely gonna affect. It's like you take out like when Man United were playing back in the day when Beckham wasn't crossing the ball in. It's like if they take out Beckham, it's like who's gonna be the next player? It's not the same. It's just not the same. You can put another person on it, but they're not gonna give you the same outcome. It's like Reguilon's been one of our best assistants, hasn't he, this season? I think he has, and so it's definitely not going to be the same. But I think what I say about us is I think we're better at defending set pieces as well under Conte. I think we're more aggressive, and he's getting more players into the box. And maybe they should always be one runner, like just maybe sitting a bit further forward, just so in case if there is a break, like have like a Sun there or something. But other than that, he is getting more players into the box offensively and from defensive corners. So when you're defending a corner, so I think it's
No, big up. Not an easy one to answer, guys. So fair play to you. Carl Knight says, "Merry Christmas to the Harris Sammy, my favorite channel, and here's hoping Spurs continue to become more stable, not up and down. Conte, he's magic." Antonio Conte doesn't really have the same ring to it, my man, but we'll definitely take it, Carl.
We can make it into the same ring.
Come on,
Dave, if anyone could do it, Dave, you can do it, mate. If anyone can make it ring, you can do it.
Voice of an angel, I'm telling you, my man. Not bad. But big up, Carl. A happy Christmas to you, my man, and a happy New Year if I don't see you before then as well. And look, hopefully you stay safe, relax, and enjoy it, brother. And I really appreciate the kind words on the channel. And I agree with you. Let's follow up the Liverpool result and all the the Brentford, the Norwich, the Leeds result. Let's follow up today, my man, with knocking West Ham out of the cup. Let's get back to the semi-finals. Let's take Arsenal, spank them, move on to the finals and go and win this fucking thing this year. That's what I say, Carl. Big yourself up, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother. Dark Song G21, my man, how are you keeping? What time is it over there in Korea, brother? He says, let's go. Our revenge for the Hammers and keep the momentum for Palace on Sunday. I hope for Brentford and Leicester to win today. Also for a good Lord, look at the Blues and Gunners' upcoming fixtures. Come on, you Spurs. Jack, what do you want to say to Dark Sun G?
Dark Sun G, I missed you, man. It's the revenge we need. It's the revenge we've deserved. I think, for two reasons. Not only, we think of, that, as Sean brought up before, that 3-0 comeback that they made was probably one of the most painful moments of my whole Spurs lifetime. But as well, even that Nuno performance, which that 0-0, that should have been a 0-0, but it ended up being 1-0. I just thought they were so horrible that match, West Ham, and I couldn't even believe they won that. To say that we deserve 3 points might be a bit of a stretch, but we certainly, I thought, played better. We had more of the ball. We created more chances, and West Ham were playing like absolute cowards in their own stadium. So I really feel like that was really hard done by. They have, kind of just really frustrated me, Dark Sun G. So I want that revenge. And I also want that revenge for Palace, because that was one of also the most embarrassing sort of results that we've had as well, considering. So, I mean, 2 revenges, 2 sort of teams that we need to avenge, Dark Sun G. So I like your vengeance. I like this sort of vibe that you bring in, Dark Sun G. And I'll take a look at, the Gunners and Blues' upcoming fixtures for that law, like you say, but really appreciate the big one, Dark Sun G, as well as Carl Knight. Really appreciate the big one, and really appreciate both of your guys' support. And Dark Sun G, as always, from one man to another, really appreciate you, brother.
Big up Dark Sun G, my man, and hopefully you have a good Christmas and a New Year, my man. Big yourself up. Kaguma's in the building with the super sticker.
It's her favorite one, Dave. It's that one with the foxes and the hearts and the kisses. It's her favorite one.
Yeah, what did the fox say? Absolutely love it. Big up, Kaguma. I hope you're keeping well. Really appreciate it. I love that super sticker. Big yourself up. Roberts Silcock says, I'm not sure if that's actually no, it's a proper name, because sometimes people try and banter me, my man. I do usually cop onto it. But big up, Robert. He says, Hugo being so much more commanding presence under Conte seems to have restored confidence in the players in front. I ain't scared of him. No, 100%. Look, this new goalkeeping coach that has come in, it's clear to see that Conte has identified where Hugo Lloris can help out the back line a bit more. And he's got in a goalkeeping coach. He's working with him to be able to do that. We're seeing the benefits of it, which is making our back line better, which in terms is helping our centre midfielders stay a bit higher up the pitch than dropping further back. So it's absolutely a knock-on effect right throughout the team, my man. So absolutely spot on, the commanding presence. And look, Robert, let me know, but I think he might sign that new contract now, my man. I definitely think he will. But big up, Robert. Really appreciate support. Dark Sung G says, I know Wanks did great against Liverpool, but I don't want to see him today, or else I will have PTSD from last season. Let's win 6-2 and then win 5-0 on Sunday. No, look, 100%. I get what you mean with that, pulling out of the challenge on Lanzini in the last minute. But what I will say is his first goal for Tottenham did come against West Ham. Look, he played well, and we will get onto it whether, people will roll out the same midfield and that. We are going to get onto it now. But Dark Sung G, I mean, it's hard not to give him the nod. I'll be honest. I never ever thought I'd be saying it, but he played well. See, it all depends what system Conte is going with as well. If he's going back to the one he was using before the Liverpool game, well then, I'd say Winks might lose out. But if he still plays that 3 in the middle, well then I'd say Winks stays in. Dark some people. Big yourself up, my man. Yeah. I really appreciate the support. And let's go and smash him tonight. We owe him a big one. He wants 6-2. I absolutely love it. Big up Dark Sung G. And Kev Williams, it's about time we had Dyer smash a free kick in. Look, that could come tonight. I know Moondog, he's famous for putting on a bet Eric Dyer to score first. So look, hopefully that comes in tonight for Moondog. Let's give him a good Christmas. Look, Dyer's well able to hit the free kicks for sure.
I think he's our best free kick taker. Hot take. I do think he's our best free kick taker.
For sure.
It's ridiculous to say it out loud, but he is.
I agree. I think he's brilliant.
Big up, Kev. Big up, Kev. What a man. But look, lads, we keep cracking on. Yeah. Here's a question everybody wants. And look, I suppose we'll go to Sean with this one first, then to Danny and back to Jacko. because I don't want Jack to answer it for everybody this time around. We have to let Sean get his say in. So, Shawnee, on Sunday, and Jack, I mean that in a good way, by the way.
No, he's a perfect answer. There was nothing more that needed to be said. That's all.
Shawnee, on Sunday, we produced one of our best performances of the season when Antonio Conte switched his formation, going from a 3-4-3 to a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2, whatever way you want to call it. What system would you prefer Conte use going into today's game? But also, what system suits our squad the best?
Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Took me ages.
Listen, I think... So, I mean, the only the difference is, apart from the shape, like really, it's just around the midfield three, right? How do you want to put the midfield three together? I think it would be really difficult. It'd be really tough to drop Winksy. Yeah. I think it'd be really tough to drop Dele Alli after Sunday.
Yeah.
So I think you could argue that you could drop Tanguy. I think he had a good game, or good first half, good first 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but after that, dropped off, gave a few balls away. Was a bit sloppy defensively. So if Højbjerg's back, I don't think he is, but if Skippy's back, I think you've got to keep the first two and you put Skippy in. And because Skippy didn't do anything that justified dropping his spot. Skippy was fantastic in the game before the Liverpool game. So whatever that shape looks like, whether it's 3-5-2 or 3-5-1-1 or however you want to do it, 3-4-3, I still think the same strategy, but essentially I think we just need to drop Tanguy and keep, because I think today's just as important as Sunday for us. So I don't want to see anyone saying putting Bergwijn in because it's a cup game, or putting in, dropping anyone on a rest level. I think today's just as important as any other game coming up. So if not more important. So for me, the only change would be Tanguy out, Skippy in.
Yeah.
And then have the option to see where we are at halftime, whether we need to change things around, bring on Ndombele if for whatever reason, not that I expect us that we will have, but if there's any reason for us to need to score goals in the second half, then maybe we've got an option there. But for me, it's the only change is Ndombele out.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, and I think that's probably. I think a lot of people probably go with that. Maybe Ndombele might lose his place, but Danny, do you agree? He did get the assist for Harry Kane, and I was listening to Gary Neville. I was actually listening to a lot of things over the last 2 days. I have another thing I want to get onto. That reminds me, but I was listening to Gary Neville, and he says, that maybe Ndombele isn't getting the praise he deserved against Liverpool because a lot of players try to pass the ball out to the wing backs and they think their job is done. But he says the real threat and the real balls are the ones splitting the defense straight in behind.
Tanguy's this player where he could do one moment of magic and it's brilliant, and he'll just do a brilliant ball or a brilliant goal or pass, whatever it is. But then the rest of the 90 minutes or however long he plays, he just lets you down. He had, I think, 7 or 8 ground duels right against Liverpool. He lost every single one of them, and that's telling. And a lot of places he lost them in really dangerous areas as well. He lost about 3 in our own half near our own box, and then the other 4 he lost in attacking positions. And it's the team couldn't have a chance from that, and luckily they didn't punish us on those times that he did give away the ball. And it's he's still in his game. Still, sometimes you can see that he's not playing fully for the team. He's still not running enough. He's still not giving his all for the team. And it's like he feels that one pass, I'm done now. I'm done for the day. My day's done. I'm happy with myself. I've given a good assist and that's it. It's no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And that's what he needs to get out of his head. So, look, in terms of the lineup today, I would say, for me personally, I would want to see the exact same formation, apart from, obviously, he's going to have to change Sessegnon because he's injured, so Reguilon comes in. Other than that, I think, for me, you have to keep the same team, right? So you can keep that momentum going, because that team is all confident now, right? Yeah. Even Ndombele, right? And I do agree with Sean. If I was going to change any player, it would be him, Tanguy for Skip, right? But I think that does lose a little bit of something to start with. Maybe it works the other way around, where Skip and the midfield three are not working as great together to start with, and maybe he brings on Ndombele. But I feel that you have to go with the same team that gave us the best performance that we've seen in years at Spurs, for me, in my opinion, right? Because they're all confident now and they're all like, right, we want to go again. We want to get out on that pitch and do the same again.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we can actually really punish someone like West Ham, is if you give those players that confidence. Say, do you know what? You played well. I want to see you do it again. And that's what I want to see. I don't want to see a change, to be honest with you. I think you change it up. You change it up against Crystal Palace, because we're at home as well, and we know we're quite good against them normally at home. So he might go over like the 3-4-3, but I think he might go with the same formation again, barring Sessegnon.
Interesting. And look, Jack, same to you. I mean, you know, would you prefer the 3-4-3, or do you think 3-5-2 is probably the formation that Conte eventually wanted to get to at Tottenham, and that you see us using this going forward? And what actually suits our squad the best, Jack?
It's hard to say whether the 3-5-2 still suits our squad the best. I don't think it necessarily does, but in terms of what Antonio Conte has used before, it certainly suits him the best. I mean, we saw Inter, that's what he primarily used, you know, with Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku up front, and then he had Brozovic, Barella, and kind of Arturo Vidal, or he would go for another kind of midfielder in there. And so that's what he had a lot of success with. Over at Juventus, he did the same thing with Andrea Pirlo, Marchisio, Pogba, and other players like that, in that three-man midfield. And it's probably what he technically prefers. You get a lot more work rate in that midfield. You're not as open in the midfield, and then you still have the width of the wing backs. And then if you have two world-class strikers up top, then, it's not really like you need that third attacker, because you have one of the midfielders joining the attack, which we saw from Dele Alli. We saw the fullbacks like Sessegnon and Emerson get forward when they need to, especially when maybe against Liverpool, where we kind of had to sit back a bit deeper. I think it's a much better kind of formation defensively. Maybe when we need to really go for a game, the 3-4-3 could be better. Is it the best for our current squad right now? I still would probably say not, or no, because it's just really hard to, anticipate seeing, and, Winks, continue to put performances in like that. It's really hard to imagine seeing Dele continue to put performances in like that. But, it's why we've said on this channel, why we really want more midfielders in this team. If I were to spend 70 million on somebody, as much as I love Vlahovic, I would actually spend it on a midfielder, because then we could move into that 3-5-2 a lot better. If 70 million gets you a player like a Kessié, 70 million gets you a player like a Brozovic, even though we can get them for a lot cheaper than that. My point being is that these players can actually help out Antonio Conte, build out his formation, because we really need players in that midfield to compete for these sort of positions. And maybe somebody like a Tanguy as well would do really well in Dele's position. My final point would be maybe you have Dele and Tanguy compete for that third man, that kind of that Barella role in the midfield. They have them compete for that sort of position, that Metsala role. And I don't know, I like the 3-5-2 more. Is it the best with our current squad? Hard to really answer it that way.
What happens though in January? And I know this isn't a January show, but just to extend on that question quickly, if we do go for Vlahovic, and if in a dream world we get hold of him, then does that speak volumes as to what he would look to use as a formation from that point on? And if so, what would it do?
Eventually move to, because he has more success with it. The 3-5-2 is what he wants to eventually switch into.
That's what he wants.
And so
where would you put Sonny in that formation?
Well, just like he did last night up top alongside Harry Kane.
But if you had Vlahovic, do you drop?
Well, that's my point. Is I think you don't spend the 70 million on Vlahovic. You instead spend the 70 million on a central midfielder, and then you bring in some like a cheaper backup striker that is available. As much as we'd miss out on a great player that is Vlahovic, I want Vlahovic. Believe me, I love him. I would love to have an itch back at Tottenham, but it's just
scratch my Vlahovic, bro.
Yeah, the itch enthusiast I am. But I don't know. I would much rather it be in a central midfield position, because then you can allow Conte to be able to do his 3-5-2 a bit more confidently.
And just my quick answer on it. Look, to be honest with you, I would stick with the 3-5-2 just purely because I think it gives us more balance in the team than what the 3-4-3 does. Yep. But my main problem is like Jack was saying, how long is Winks going to continue this form? Dele Alli, how many times we're going to see Ndombele being able to come in and do a job? I mean, the years gone by has proven to us that they're not the most consistent. Now, look, maybe they could find consistency under Conte, and it could suit this formation, could suit everybody, and they all start playing. But with the 3-5-2, I'm not even sure if you would see Dele Alli and and then Ndombele compete for the third spot, to be honest with you, because I think you could end up seeing the likes of Skip, Højbjerg, and Winks rolled out in that 3-5-2. But, I mean, you could still have Højbjerg and Skip either side pressing up, further up the pitch to get the press on. And then when we do turn the ball over, you have Harry Winks sitting in the middle of them like he was doing, playing them passes. But the only thing is, we're not having Dele Alli in there. Then you lose the runs that he made against Liverpool, which essentially he kind of added like a third forward alongside Kane and Son with his runs. So it's a hard one, but I do think the 3-5-2 gives us a lot more balance across the team. And I think we looked a lot better in the 3-5-2, especially on the ball, than what we did in the 3-4-3. And that's where I would be with that. But look, lads, sticking with the midfield, Winks was anchor in the midfield in the 3-5-2 system. He was superb, and having Dele and Ndombele ahead of him contributed to the creativity in the final third, especially Ali. Now, it would be harsh on Højbjerg and Skip, but does Winks, Ndombele and Ali deserve to get the nod again today? Or would you bring Højbjerg and Skip back in? And we'll stick with you, Jack, and go around the panel and get everyone's quick answers on this one.
Yeah, I'll answer quickly. I think Winks played so spectacularly that he cannot be dropped after that sort of performance. I would argue with Tanguy. Did Tanguy really knock my socks off with that sort of performance? No. Not really. Did Dele even knock my socks off with that performance? Not exactly, because I still think of all the wasted opportunities that he, had. And as well, like, we all know Dele Alli works hard. We all know that, he has that nastiness kind of in him, but so does Højbjerg, so does Skippy. And I think Dele Alli does great, making runs into the box like that. But again, like, the wastefulness that you had in front of goal really did kind of piss me off. So I just feel like you can't drop Winks. I think you throw in either a Skip or a Højbjerg alongside Winks, and then you decide between Tanguy, Gio, or Dele for that third kind of midfield position.
Good answer, Jack. Great answer. Honestly, Brains McLeod is saying you're having too many mic drop moments, Jack. Great points. Drop the mic. You may as well
Something's
just
in the coffee this morning, I guess. Something's in the coffee this morning.
I do apologize, but to Danny and Sean having to follow up some of the times. But Shawnee, we'll go to you. We'll go to you, my man. Is it harsh on Skip and Højbjerg? Would you roll out the three boys again?
No, it's not harsh on them. It's the way it should be, right? Like, if there's a reason why you're out and someone else comes in and takes their chance, then it's theirs. They get the chance, right? And if they prove that they deserved it, then it's theirs to lose. It's the way it has to be. Like, the saddest thing about Tottenham is we've got a few players in a few positions that don't have any competition. So whatever happens, however they play, they always get their jersey back the next week, and that allows for people to take their foot off the gas. So I do think it would be horrible. I think Winks deserves to keep his spot. I think that, unfortunately, I take your point. I almost agree entirely with Jack, but I don't think that Højbjerg can replace Dele Alli. I'd rather have even though Dele Alli, some would argue a worldy save. Some would argue could have let it go past him the other side and easily tap it with his left foot into the other corner. But I do think that Dele Alli offers that late run. I don't think Højbjerg does it. And even in a world where he does do it, I still don't rate or have a lot of faith in Højbjerg's shooting or his finishing. Dele Alli, I'd always put my trust in him over Højbjerg for a crack. So I don't think that Højbjerg steps in to replace Dele. I think that Højbjerg or Skip, to Jack's point, can take the place of Tanguy, but I think Dele has to start as well.
Love it, Sean. I absolutely love the way you said you out the gates, but that's the way it should be, because in a way you are correct. You're absolutely spot on. And Danny, again, I apologize for having to follow up after Sean and Jack this time. There mustn't be much left to answer, but Danny, is it?
Yeah, I'm just going to call it a night then, Dave. Right, so I'll see you later. Right, I'm just going to go. but no, like they're both spot on. Like, I think Sean is definitely spot on. Like, I just said it in my last previous comment that they deserve it, and I know that they haven't played well over the last how many years, whatever it is, but based on that performance, if Conte is trying to see who he needs to get out of this squad, this is the perfect chance for those players, right, to see what they can do against West Ham, because West Ham's it's not going to be an easy game. It's their cup final for them, right? It's always a cup final for them against us. So let's see what them same players can do against West Ham. And if they can give that same level of performance, then it's going to give him and the fans something to really think about, because then they're in a moment now where they're in a bit of a high. They're a bit of down because they didn't win the game, but they're in a high because they've played the way they did against Liverpool. These are people who have had what I think like 7 starts altogether as a free under Conte. I think, or even less than that. I think it is. I can't remember the actual stat, and that's telling in itself that they haven't even had a combined number of 10 starts. It's that just goes to show where they are in the squad and how far down the pecking order is. So. I think that they got to play tonight. I think you give them that chance again and see what they can do, and then he can assess it at half time.
Isn't it, Danny?
Like, it is a confidence thing.
You have to stick with.
Yeah, you have to. It's a confidence thing. Like I mean, imagine Dave, right? You had one of the best games in the last few years, right, against the best team in the world right now, my opinion, right?
Yeah.
And then you go play West Ham. You're like, oh, you're buzzing for this. You want to get on the pitch and you're in that mode. You're in that zone where you know you can kind of try and give that same performance again. Yeah. And then you get dropped. For like someone like Lo Celso or Lo Celso, who hasn't really done anything to kind of prove that he should be having a start. Or I know Højbjerg and Skip, right? But they're coming back from injuries and come back from COVID, and it's like, why would you play someone else? Just give them the chance and see what they can do. It's a fairness thing as well. I think
it's a fairness thing. I agree.
Brilliant answer, boys. Brilliant answers, I have to say. Absolutely brilliant. And, 307 people in the house is probably proving that, guys. So big yourselves up, everybody. And happy Christmas to all. It's going to be even happier once we spank West Ham today. The hammers, the spammers, the spanners, whatever, pikey boys, whatever you want to call them, probably blocking up London with caravans right now, traveling to the game. You see them all with the safari sleeveless jackets on, the whole hats and the binoculars, all walking down Tottenham Street tonight. Absolutely ridiculous. And anyway, you see them coming from a mile because, in the cold when people breathe and you see the air, well, you just see them blowing bubbles. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolute state of them. Grown men blowing bubbles. I mean, it's a disgrace, honestly. Dark Sun G21 says, for your information, the game is at 4:45 a.m. I love the commitment, my man, and everybody else out there worldwide. Love the commitment that some of these guys, and these guys have to get up, go to work, school, college, and everything else the next day. It's insane. If that was me, I wouldn't go to school, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? After being up at 4:45 watching Tottenham, I just say, man, go away and make me a bowl of cornflakes or something, please. You know what I mean? I know I wouldn't, because I actually respect my mother and I love her, but, today, and he says it's 2:05 a.m. right now. I was late because I woke up 10 minutes before my first super chat. Also, Man U fixture starting for the round of 16 is hell for them. So top 3 and 2 trophies for us. Jack, what would you say, Dark Sun G?
Oh, Dark Sun G, like David said, seriously, the commitment that you show, as well as a lot of other Korean fans out there, it's actually commendable. I couldn't even understand what that would be like. I'm complaining sometimes about having to wake up at 5 or 6 a.m., in order to watch a game back here in Seattle. I've honestly been blessed to be in New York, because that 3-hour time change is honestly, heavens in comparison. And I couldn't even imagine what it's like for people in Korea, what it's like for people in Oceania kind of region as well. I mean, it's just ridiculous what the Aussies and, and New Zealand, people have to do. It's just, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't even envy it at all. But your guys' commitment is ridiculous. And I'm loving this energy, though, Dark Sunji. I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, seriously, West Ham, they're going to be falling out of 4th place. We all know that, Arsenal, they can't keep it up this long. I mean, it's just how the world works. It's seriously, I mean, the world is not going to spin this way for that long. And so we all know they're going to drop out. And so top 4 is ours. Then maybe this Carabao Cup, is going to be ours as well. And, I'm looking forward to it, Dark Sunji. 2 trophies and top 4. It's what David and I were probably, deludedly kind of screaming in the beginning of the season. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, but Jack, we're deluded, you know what I mean? I mean, we're deluded. And not really. What I'd say is call it genius, because at the end of the day, being a football man, I know football can just change at the drop of a hat. Everything can completely change. But, I would call it genius more than deluded. Maybe smarter. I don't know. Who knows? I know I'm definitely not smarter, to be honest with you. But look, maybe genius more than deluded, I would say, on that one, because now people are probably saying, because at the start people were saying, how can you say top 4? How can you say this? How can you say that? Well, the reason why I knew, because I trust Don Paratici and I trust the Godfather Conte, and when the two come together, great things happen. So maybe I was smart. Who knows? But Dark Song G says, by the way, our top 4 rivals are starting to have COVID problems while we are ending the problem. It feels great. Our next 5 Premier League games should be 15 points, in my opinion. Yeah, honestly, if it keeps going that way, man, we could be top of the league by the end of January. Who knows? You know what I mean? With all they could end up not playing their games. We catch up. We could be top of the league. Who knows, Dark Song G? Who knows, my man? But
I'll tell you one thing, mate. I genuinely think that Chelsea are going to end up. I still think they'll finish 3rd, but I think they're going to end up far closer to us in 4th than they are to Man City or Liverpool in 2nd. I think we've got an outside. If Chelsea's decline continues, I don't rate them as highly as other people do. I think that Tottenham. Imagine why are we worried about 4th? Let's go for 3rd. Yeah? Let's get real greedy, real deluded. If we're going to be deluded, let's be really deluded.
Big up, Dark Sunji. What a man. Sean, you're hilarious, my man. Gaguma says, we can do it. Spurs, happy vibes. Yes, we can do it. I never ever doubt this great club. Honestly, don't get me wrong. It's pissed me off the last few years. Really has got me down and everything else. But one thing that never dies is my love for the fucking cockerel. That is for sure. Absolutely love this club, and we all fucking should. You know, at the end of the day, we are back. The great, mighty Tottenham Hotspurs is back, baby. And you best believe it. Believe it. Absolutely loving life. But look, guys, one thing I do want to talk about is, let's just say a certain Mikel Antonio is out of today's game. You know, he does have their most goals and most assists. Absolutely crucial player to be out, missing for them. Makes our job even 10 times easier today. Probably gives them their early excuse for getting battered anyway. But Jack, Antonio, huge miss.
Oh my gosh, huge miss, because he's kind of a bit of a striker's dream, you know, to be honest, because he's improved his finishing dramatically. But as well, his hold-up play is absolutely spectacular. I hate to admit it, Dave, but it really is spectacular. He's such kind of a shithouse. Like, he knows how to be able. He's not afraid of the contact. He's not afraid of, you know, a defender being on his hip. He just absolutely runs over players at times as well. Also in the box, you know, for corners, he's the guy usually, David, like you were bringing up earlier. He's one of the guys that kind of bothers the keeper, kind of stands in his way. He's just, you know, I don't know, Dave. He's a hardworking striker. Every single time they just do an out ball, you know, it's usually to no one, yet he somehow gets there. Somehow he always gets there. Somehow he always holds it up for them and, you know, waits for the oncoming support. So I don't know, Dave. Antonio, he is a great striker. He's turned into a great number 9. He's actually probably the main kind of he's one of the main kind of, you know, I don't know how to maybe cosms or whatever the word is, or kind of like gears in David Moyes' side. Like, he really is part of the reason why they've had so much success. And without him, I don't know how they'll do it. I really don't know how they'll do it, because they use him as the out ball. They use him as the guy to hold up play. They use him as the person to help start the counterattacks. And so without him up front, I think that's probably a bigger mess than almost any other team, any other player in their whole lineup, to be honest.
Yeah, spot on.
Jack,
spot
I think...
on. Guys, anything quick to add, because then I have 2 questions I need to get to, and just half an hour left. So go on, Danny. Just
quick to add on that, I think you're right. Like Antonio, he's like their key, right? He is their key. When they don't have him in the team, they're a different team, right? It kind of reminds me of like how when we had Ericsson in the prime Poch years, right? And Ericsson was our key. He was our key. He unlocked our whole team. Right. And do you remember when we were in the prime Poch years, when he didn't play, you saw a massive difference in the way we played football, the way we created chances. And I think it's the same with West Ham. So it's absolutely huge miss for them today. And I'm buzzing even more that it's going to give us even more satisfaction once we fuck them up tonight. I really hope. And I'm going to dedicate it to a 4-1 as well. That's what my prediction is for today. A 4-1. A Bobby prediction there is.
I love it. With Shani, we'll get your quick thoughts on Antonio as well. But Kuva says third, top 1. Is that what I'm talking about, man? You're not optimistic enough, Kuva.
Second Kuva, man. Fucking hell. All right then.
Come on, mate. Don't take the piss. Come on, it's ridiculous. There's deluded, and then there's just crazy. Right? Forget that.
There's deluded, and then there's Kuva.
Kuva's lowering his expectations. He thought we were winning 8 trophies this season. Now he's lowering it down to 4. You know, so.
Well, I mean, Kuva was winning X Factor, American Idol.
All the trophies.
You know, Kuva was winning X Factor, American Idol, the Grand National. You know what I mean? Kuva was going for it all. But Sean, you know, what's your quick thoughts on Antonio being out, my man?
Yeah, look, he's definitely, like everyone else has said, doesn't need to be repeated. He's obviously a talisman for them. He's insane. He creates, or has created. I would say, though, he hasn't scored in, I think, 10 games, right? And West Ham's dip in form has only happened in the last 3 games. So, you know, they survived without his efforts for much of November and most of October. So look, they're not a one-man team by any stretch. I think that Antonio being out is a big hit. Cresswell being out, to your point earlier, Jack, is massive, right? If so many of their goals come from set pieces and their set piece taker is out, then Antonio's
and
a
the
big
scorers. The scorers from set pieces, most of them are out as well.
Yeah, exactly, right. So it's another little, if it's true, it's another little victory for us. But
yeah,
I don't give a shit today. If they had their full strength team out, I still think we're going to absolutely smash them. The fact that they're missing half a dozen, all that offers me is that they're going to come out with their bubble excuses, and I'm not that bothered about it. We're going to smash them by multiple goals, and then the delusion about whether or not champions is on the cards. Kuva, to your point, is it can start after tonight, but right now you're insane to think we can win the league. Third is much more reasonably deluded. Okay,
absolutely love it.
Reasonable delusion.
Chris Peter says Conte's going to Wembley. His knees have gone all trembling. La, 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 la. Hey. La, 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 la. Big up, Chris. Big up, Chris. Absolutely love it, my man. And Dark Son G says, I feel great after watching the Conte camp for Liverpool. No, I feel great just watching him. Just honestly, that celebration, seeing him running back with the emotion in his face, the wind catching his hair, sweeping it backwards.
Yeah, that's the best part.
You gotta absolutely love it. You gotta love it, Dark Son G. Big yourself up, my man. But look, lads, we have 2 questions left, and I do want to fit these in. I do actually have more, but we won't fit them in. But I do want to fit these 2 in. So if we could get your answers, and just bear in mind, I have 27 minutes left, so before I have to head over to Tottenham TV. Yep. But we'll start with you, Jack, on this one. Last time we played West Ham, we couldn't buy a shot, let alone a goal. Harry Kane scored in Sunday's draw with Liverpool. His goal in that was his 15th of the season for club and country in all competitions. Can King Kane punish West Ham tonight, Jack? He has been a thorn in their side in recent times, scoring 4 times in his previous 5 matches against the Hammers. And do you think Kane will continue to score goals?
I mean, I feel like he will score against West Ham because he probably should have, even under Nuno the last time we played against West Ham. Sonny had a huge chance. Harry Kane had a huge chance against West Ham under Nuno. So now that we have Antonio Conte at the helm, I'd like to think that, Harry Kane will have even more chances in front of goal. And also this was, again, I think when we played West Ham, this was when they had Ogbonna and I believe Kurt Zouma still, in the back line. And so Michael Dawson, I think, is a horrible defender. He's really good in the air, but he's a really, really poor defender. So Harry Kane will probably lose him. He'll drop, into those half spaces, be able to play the ball in behind for other players, and also just lose them in the box with his beautiful runs. I mean, it was kind of insane how much Konate, someone who I actually do rate as a defender, as being very athletic as well. There are so many times where you saw Harry Kane with so much space in front of him. Like Harry Kane was pleading for the ball to be played in behind for him. And if he's able to do that against decent Liverpool defenders and Matip and Konate, I mean, he's definitely going to be doing it against West Ham, Dave. So he's going to continue the scoring streak. He's going to continue the King Kane form, and Harry Kane is back.
I absolutely love it, Jack. Absolutely love it, my man. And I was going to ask you, Jack, if you criticise Kane, do you take it back? But I don't think you have criticised Kane, to be fair. So I'll save you that question.
Safe from the slaughter.
Shawnee, do you think Harry Kane will continue to score goals? And do you think he will absolutely unleash against West Ham today?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think that it was getting that monkey off his back on Sunday was a massive relief. Like I said to you a while back, I think it was the first time I came on. I'm a season ticket holder, and I hadn't heard Harry Kane's name sung once all season, which was a real concern. And obviously, I wasn't. Yeah, well, yeah, of course, yeah. But that notwithstanding, I wasn't at the game on Sunday, but I heard on one of your shows someone else saying that the people started singing it again, right? I think that's going to be such
singing.
Yeah, perfect, right? So I think they'll sing it again tonight, and I think that I wouldn't be surprised if he got more than one. I think he might have a couple. I think that it's like I said, I think there's the opportunity for us to score a real like a bag full tonight, and it would be amazing to see Harry Kane take what happened on Sunday and run with it, and then go and put 2 away outside. Actually, you know what? I'll never bet on him having a hat trick just for shits and giggles, see what happens.
Oh, go bigger, absolutely. No, I love it. I love the optimism.
Cheeky fiver on a hat trick. Why not? We're gonna score 6 or 7. So Harry Kane's probably gonna get a few of them, right? So,
and Sean, were you one of the people to criticise Kane at all?
Criticise his performance. I've never called for him to be replaced by Bergwijn. I'm not in that bucket.
Okay, we'll spare you that question too. So. But Danny, my man, do you expect Harry Kane to unleash on West Ham today? We do know he loves a derby game. He loves beating West Ham as well. Do you expect him to unleash, and do you expect him to keep going now, keep scoring goals?
I mean, that's a fucking stupid question, isn't it, Dave? Isn't it? You know the answer to that, mate. Of course he's gonna fucking score.
I know,
tonight.
but just indulge me, Danny. Come on, it's my time.
Of course, it's Harry fucking Kane. He's a world-class striker. I mean, he loves scoring against the spammers, and then he's gonna smash those spammers back into their cans where they would all belong, because that's what they deserve to go. So I think he will. Yeah, I could see him scoring a brace tonight. I think he'll be involved. Whatever happens, he'll be involved with 2 goals. I think so. I think there's going to be more than 2 goals, right? I think 4-1. I think he'll either have 2 goals or he'll have 1 goal and 1 assist, and there'll be goals from other players tonight. But I think either way, he's going to have 2 goal contributions tonight. That's what I want to put a bet on. So I might do that and do that kind of bet, Sean, and see what happens.
Say that again.
I said I think Kane's he's gonna have 2 goal contributions tonight, whether that's either 2 goals himself or 1 goal, 1 assist. Yeah, I think he'll have 2 goal contributions.
You might have to go to one of those like those apps on Twitter when you can't get that bet naturally found on a website. You might have to go and ask them for the odds. And then
see if I can do that. Then.
What I will say is, everybody, just tune into the pre-match.
I like that as well, mate. I might share that with you.
Tune into the pre-match pump up, because I let everybody know what Harry Kane's going to do by looking at his hair. As soon as I see it, I text the barber. I'd say, look, is it hairspray or is it wax? Did you blow dry it or did you comb it? Is there volume? Is it flat? I need to know all these things to find out what he's going to do. But I have a feeling it could be a goal and assist. But do wait to see. Tune into the pre-match pump up on We Are Tottenham TV for the Harry Kane hair prediction. But Danny, did you criticise Kane, and do you take it back if you did?
So you know what I thought of Kane, right? Like Sean said, I never called.
You were going to Alex territory. You were starting to go to Alex territory.
No. So what I said. So what I was saying, I never went into the territory of saying replace him for Bergwijn. Right? Never said that once. And I always stuck by saying Kane will score 15 goals this season in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I always said that.
Yeah.
Right. But what I wasn't happy with was his attitude. And I said I still wanted him to play, right? At times I said, maybe we couldn't. There was no one else we could give a go up front to, because we ain't got anyone else. So he had to play, right? But it was just for me. I was just saying that if he continues this way, right, with Nuno at the time, then he'll have to go, because you could see his motivation was not there. Like my issue with Kane was that his drive was not there, his motivation wasn't there, and it was clear to see, right? As soon as Conte walked through that door, his erection for Conte went fucking rock solid. Like, it was rock fucking solid. Like, he was like, yes, I've got my fucking man here. Like, he's like, the Don is here. The fucking Don is here. The Godfather is here now. And then for him, it was like, now we mean business. Now this is where we can shine. And I think that's what brought his passion for Spurs back, his motivation to play for Spurs again back. Because come on, man, how you gonna get motivated to be fucking playing under Nuno? Really, come on, like Harry Kane, Nuno Espirito Santo. All due respect to him, right? But really, someone of his level is gonna get motivated to go and play for someone who's got no fucking idea about tactics. I mean, come on, the guy was useless. Let's be honest. So as soon as he's seen Conte, he knows that he's a winner. He knows he's got the same mindset, the same mentality, and now he's got that. You saw the goal against Liverpool. You saw that raw Tottenham emotion, that passion. It was like he scored. It was like the time when he scored that goal when he had the mask on against Arsenal, when he scored that wicked goal, right? Yeah. That passion was the same level kind of passion. He was going nuts, and you could see that. You could see that what it meant to him, right? And I think this is where Kane's going to start getting back into it. He's still not at that level yet, but I've said it I said it and I stuck by it. He will score 15 Premier League goals a season. I think he will.
Love it.
No, in fairness, I was only taking the piss there, Danny, but you did.
I know you are. I know. You're trying to rattle me up, mate. I know.
But, Stuart, I do see what you're saying. But honestly, if you knew me, I can't calm down. I mean, I've been taking slack for months for my defence of Harry, and now it's my time. Now it's my time to shine, baby, Stuart. So it's my time to give it all back. Every single thing back that I received about Harry. I've kept it. I've put it into the mailbag, and I'm posting it all back, Stuart. I can't help it. And look, it could very well be the case that he might not score for another 3-4 games. I'll just defend him again until he does score. But big up, Stuart. Really, absolutely love it, Stuart. What a man. What a man. But look, we'll keep moving.
Best defense of the year goes to Dave. Best defender of the year goes to Dave.
Yeah, I'm telling you, better than Dyer, Sanchez, and Davies, Jack. But look, Jack, sticking with you, my man. Antonio Conte, he knows a thing or two about winning trophies and would relish etching Tottenham's name on the trophy as the first winner not named Man City since 2017. Of course, who beat us in the final last year? We thought Jose would be the man to deliver trophies, but Ken, Godfather, second coming of Christ, Jesus, the King, Conte, finally be the man to end the drought. And what has he done that convinces you of this? And if not, what does he need in order to achieve this, Jacko?
I think, there's a two-part answer to this. One is that he did exceptionally well for the FA Cup with Chelsea. He made it to the final, I believe, his first season. Then the following season, then he won the FA Cup. So there's a bit of evidence there. We saw with Inter Milan how he made, a team that was really lacking trophies and really on the downfall. He rose them up again. There's some evidence there that he can do it, when maybe a team doesn't have that winning culture anymore, that winning mentality. He can put in a winning mentality into a team. But then the other part, Dave, is like maybe the reason why he also took Spurs is because he knows is that if he wins the trophy, if he gets top four, if he does things that basically no manager has done for some time, and considering that we've been on kind of a free fall like Inter Milan were at one stage, I think he knows that he'll be worshipped as a god. He's already worshipped as a god already, in this club. But I think that's part of the reason why he even took, the job in the first place, because he knows that if he does, get that, that trophy that we've so been missing, that trophy that we're so desperate for, if he's the man to do it, then he knows he'll be going down in the history books for the rest of time, for the rest of eternity, as the man, as the Don Conte, as the godfather of this club. So I think that's part of the reason, David. He just knows that if he comes into this team, he's going to have it for, kind of elite status for the rest of his career.
Absolutely spot on, Jack. Absolutely spot on. I love it. The optimism, the confidence. Aidan Forsyth says, come on, you Spurs. Big up, Aidan. Let's have it tonight, my man. Let's fucking have it. Let's spank West Ham. Send them back crying. Like I said, they need the tears to make their turkey moist this Christmas because they can't afford cranberry sauce to do that job for them. So let's make them cry tonight. They need it big time. We need to save them a bit of money, Aidan. We do need to save them a bit of money, but big yourself up, my brother. And look, we'll go to you, Shawnee. Can Conte be the man to deliver the silverware that we so badly craze? The silverware, it's like kids you catch in the playground when you're like 12. You know what I mean? You're running after this fine bird and you just can't catch her. That's what it feels like sometimes with these trophies, Sean. Can Conte be the man to deliver them?
Well, Premier League, as much as we'll talk about winning that one after tonight, but in all reality, that's not going to happen. So you got the FA Cup or the Carling Cup or the Carabao Cup. I think that a lot will depend on the. Listen, like I say, I'm 90. I've just had some wildly excessive, crazy bets on some wildly outrageous scorelines and predictions. I'll send them in the chat later to the boys to see what I'm up to. But in terms of, so like I'm under no. I'm pretty sure we're going to go through tonight. In terms of the rest of the Carabao Cup, I think a lot depends on who we get drawn against. I don't know if the semi-finals is it played at home or away, or is it played in
I think neutral? It's two legs. I think it's two legs.
Two-leg semi-final, is it? Okay. So look, we took on Liverpool, and I know that the team sheets would look a lot different towards later on in the season, but I think we could do it. I genuinely think if we were so unlucky, we could have put 6 goals past Liverpool. I know they could have had a couple of goals back, but we've got goals in us now. We've got formation. We've got structure. We've got confidence. We've got the manager at the helm who knows what he's doing, who's not afraid of anybody, who knows how to win. We've got Eric Dyer at the back, and we are going to win. World-class Eric Dyer at the back. And we've got one of our biggest names outside of Harry Kane or Sonny is coming back from injury very soon. All things being well, as the season progresses, yes, 100%. This is the season. If there's going to be a season where we win something, it's right now. And I think we're going to smash it. We might, the FA Cup, who knows? That's a long drawn out affair with, God forbid we lose to Morecambe. But yeah, we're going to smash the Carabao Cup. It's ours for the taking, boys.
I love it. And just quickly, Kuva99 says, delusional. What is wrong with you, Sean? With our 3 games in hand, we're just 9 points behind first. All we need to do then is ignore the mats and stay unbearably loud and obnoxious. The fuckers will give in eventually.
Yes, Kuva! That's what I'm talking about. All I'm asking for is a little bit of patience. Let's just get through tonight, and then we'll start this banter going properly. But 100%.
Fuck the maths. We'll stay unbearably loud.
Fuck the maths. Maths don't matter.
Oh, stop. I'm going to have to poke myself in the eye, Kuva. That's your fault. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, I love it, Kuva. Absolutely brilliant. But Danny, same to you, man. Can Conte deliver the trophies that we so badly want, man?
Of course he can. That's what I'm going to say.
Look,
love it.
Short and sweet.
And Jason Bell as well, celebrating 4 months, as a member, is saying, I'm with Kuva99 on this one, So he's just absolutely agreed, delusional. It's not even reasonable delusion, we're past reasonable delusion at this stage. We really are, Jason Bell and Kuva99. But Kuva, really appreciate the big one. And absolutely, we don't need to consider the maths. It's just at this rate, we're a train that's, just bound for the top of the division. We're just bound for trophies. Now. It's an obnoxious train. It's a loud train. It's a train that will never stop, my man. It's Conte's train.
That's nice. Yeah, cool. I'm going to have to charge her for eye drops now as well, my man.
Can I add, right? I think this could be the start of many under Conte.
Just don't say that, Danny. You'd be called delusional.
I'm fucking delusional. What can we say? We're Spurs fans, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't not be a Spurs fan. It'd be unbelievable.
No, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But look, guys, there you have it. Absolutely love this pre-match preview. It's been brilliant. 2 hours have absolutely flown by this afternoon. We are now just 2 hours away from kickoff. If anyone wants more of this sort of content, head over to the pre-match pump up on We Are Tottenham TV, and you'll get another full hour of this plus the starting lineups as soon as they break. If you have enjoyed the show, make sure you smash that subscribe button as well. Make sure you smash that like button on the stream, guys. And feel free to get your super chats in if you have enjoyed the show, or why we go around and let everybody plug themselves. Jack, where can people find you, my man?
Listen, everybody, you can find me over at the second channel, flatcapeurotalk, especially if you like talking transfers. I'm actually feel like I'm so ahead of the game right now in terms of transfers because now, Dave, we were rumored with Florian Grillitsch, who nobody knows anything about. And yet I did a scout report on the guy, I don't know, feels like months ago at this rate, so it feels like I just need to maybe slow down a bit on that channel, wait for the rumors to kind of catch up with some of the players that I've been looking at. So if you've been hearing about that Florian Grillitsch rumor, head on over to that second channel where I gave a very in-depth scout report on the guy, somebody who I think wouldn't be a bad option, especially with the Levy budget. I said he'd be a great choice for a Levy budget. So if you like kind of those kind of ways of thinking, kind of trying to fix Tottenham Hotspur, trying to think about transfers, also just talking European football in general, please head on over to the second channel, please.
No, there you have it, guys. And here is the link in the description. Simply just click on it, get over there, smash the subscribe. It is your Bible for all of this January. It's the best free Christmas present anyone could ask for. So make sure you smash or subscribe on the Flat Cap Your Talk. Shawnee, my man, where can people find you, brother?
Dave at Spurs Talk Show on YouTube and on Twitter. I've got 42 subscribers now, thanks to you guys. So I'd love to get to 50 before Christmas or before the new year. But yeah, just I'll be doing that over there and just, like I say, trying to take things from a different angle, looking more into finances, looking more into off-field stuff, trying to, pop some theory bubbles around the toxicity that can exist in the background. So that's the sort of stuff I'll be doing. But yeah, at Spurs Talk Show. Thanks, guys.
No, absolutely love it. And guys, let me know if you want to see more of this exact same panel rolled out again. I had absolute vibes today. Let me know if you want to see more of it. But guys, here is the link for Shawnee's channel. Get over there and smash the subscribe button if you haven't. He's an absolute wild character. I love him. Big up, Shawnee. And look, Mr. Kiriakou, where can we find you, my man?
So I mean, you know me, Dave. I am a slag, so I go everywhere. Lately, I haven't been a slag because I've been very busy, so I've been doing other work. But yeah, you can find me everywhere. But I've got another official new home, so I'm now part of the Tottenham on Tour channel on YouTube.
There you go.
So you can now find me on Tottenham on Tour. Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff planned. We've got a lot of stuff planned for the new year, and we want to try and get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as we can, because we've got the mental health stream, another one coming up soon. And the idea is that we want to donate any proceeds we get from that to a charity. So if we could get some help to get that to 1,000, that would be brilliant. So we're on I think we need about 140 more subscribers, but we're getting there. So yeah, if you want to find my delusional face and delusional thoughts, then you can find me then on Twitter as well at Danny Kiriakou.
No, there you have it. Absolutely love it. I'm just going to throw the link in here for Tottenham on Tour.
Subscribe.
Wicked.
Tour. Give me 1 second. Throw the link in here.
To answer Liam's question, Odriozola, would I take him? I mean, I think he's doing all right at Fiorentina, but he was also part of that Champions League winning Bayern side, because he actually played a few matches, when I believe Kimmich wasn't available, and I believe when Pavard wasn't available. He actually was playing a few matches in that Champions League run they had when they won it. So Odriozola, former Real Madrid youth player, he would be decent. He's very pacey. Very probably good at that right wing back position. Is he really world class? I wouldn't say so, but would probably do a job when you need him to.
He also sounds like the sort of player that would be very easy to come up with a sort of song for. Yeah.
Odriozola. But there you have it, guys, and there is the link for Tottenham on Tour here as well in the chat. So there's Tottenham on Tour. There is Sean's channel as well, Spurs Talk, and then we have the flatcapeurotalk, guys. So there's all the channels in the chat if people do want to subscribe. But honestly, guys, it's been an absolute blast, an absolute riot, a great laugh, great conversations as well, and brilliant answers. I want to say a massive thank you to Jack, Sean, and the Bun for making this panel today. Really, really enjoyed it. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has tuned in, holding nearly 300 all show. Absolutely insane numbers. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has smashed that subscribe button, smashed that like button as well, and a massive thank you to everybody who's put in the super chats to support us. Really, really appreciate it. You want more of me? Head over to Tottenham. We are Tottenham TV for 6:15, where I will be doing the pre-match pump up, and then get your asses back here for the watch along at 7:30, where it's just going to be one big festive party. Baby.
Can I just add one thing as well?
We're going to beat West Ham. Yeah, sorry, Danny.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Sean, you're on 51 subscribers, mate. So you're over the 50
mark. I over the 50?
Yeah, you're over the 50 mark, mate. You're over the 50 mark.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Thank you so much.
On to the next 50. Next 100 that's coming up soon.
100's coming up, baby. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you for that, everyone. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all.
No, I love it. Well, look, guys, there you have it. We are going to absolutely end off now. Honestly, massive thank you to everybody. Hopefully, we will see you all back here before Christmas. But if we don't, I know people will be flying and driving and stuff like that. You might not get the chance to tune in. A massive happy Christmas and a happy New Year as well to everybody out there. Hope you really, really have a good one. Sit back, relax, enjoy. We've got our Tottenham back, turned over Liverpool. We're going to turn over West Ham and enjoy that turkey and ham, baby. And absolutely stuff it with Liverpool and West Ham fans. Come on, you Spurs. All about
in Conte we trust.
Conte we trust, baby.
Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.